and I was like,
Right.
this is a double Nintendo, and I love it.
So I should be seeing the Twitch stream go up soon. I'm hoping it goes up soon. I'm not getting anything at the moment.
It takes a second now. I don't know why.
Nah, it's just being a little odd. Um,
With the update, things have been a little funky.
a little bit apparently. And doop doop doop. Wow, my webcam is like way friggin' off. There we go. Just gonna shrink that a little bit in the corner here.
The
Boop.
struggles.
Right?
I I think the worst struggle is like sizing the webcam to the exact size for like every.
Yeah, having all the different scenes going.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have my mobile live dashboard saying that I'm okay to go. Ish. It's saying that I'm offline at the moment, actually. That's weird. Nope, there we go. We're fantastic and fine. So, are you guys excited to be doing the extra life stuff? I am.
I'm very excited.
I know that you guys are. I know that it's more about like the just getting to play the game for some people, but I really like doing the extra life stuff. The charity stuff has always been big for me.
I love
I
charity.
cannot find that overlay.
Uh,
And
the one that I'm using,
so,
it's just a browser
what?
source.
Yeah, I have to find it. Oh
Oh,
shit!
okay.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yeah.
When when I get a normal person stream schedule again, I intend to do a lot of charities towards like animal shelters
Okay.
because I know the ones around me are struggling a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's weird. Patron, do you have my stream? My Twitch?
I should. I believe I follow you, so I can just.
Yeah, you should. I was pretty sure. Do you want to see if it's running? Because for some reason it's not showing as live for me.
I'm like 90. Give me a second. I can tell you.
Okay.
Which is just taking 10,000 years to load.
Yeah, it's not too loud, but it's still listenable. There we go.
Yeah, I see
Okay.
you. I'm in the stream.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Fantastic and wonderful. Um, good to go. So, Curse of Strahd beginnings and all that good stuff. Right now, we have you guys in the Depths, which is the small inn in Giria. For those, I think I'm not sure, Therian, if you were able to um, grab any information on that place. I added it to the lore. I'm not sure if you guys have read it yet, though.
Read it when you dropped it, and then I
I
forgot
did.
about
Ah,
it.
okay, that's
So,
entirely fair. So yeah, right now we're just gonna hang out.
and
And
I'm working on my stream.
yeah. So if any of you fantastic and wonderful goblins have any questions before we get started, now's the time. My lovely wife person was kind enough to bring me a large glass of water, a like mason jar of water.
That's nice. I've been watching
Nice.
Sandman all day because I felt like dog doo doo when I woke up this morning, so I didn't go to work.
Fair.
And then I was like, about noon-ish, 1 o'clock, I got up and was like, I need to do something with my day.
That music is so fucking ominous in the background. I love it so
I
much.
love it. Huh.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like fix the tokens. It's just not having it. It doesn't want to let me put the tokens on. I
You
love the fact that
know,
this is supposed to be like our first real stream, and it's so totally amazing, guys.
it's never it's never a real stream without technical difficulties.
Right? Obviously, but I'm looking forward to having because I know like all the people that were invited except for Storm. I know you all to be really good role players, so I'm excited to see how that turns out.
That is going to be really interesting.
Yeah. All right. But Chief should have been here by now, and they are not. So I'm going to message him real quick.
That's okay. It's giving me time to like get set up and stop being a chicken with my head cut off.
That's fair.
Same.
So I'm thinking, well, we should have Chief soon. We'll have what are their names in this? Mario at around in around 40 minutes or so, and Lilith said she'll be on around 20 minutes or so. So it shouldn't be too bad.
And now it's a good time to get geared up and
Yeah, now's the time to
gotta
get everything
install
done.
20 minutes something.
Have you should take a look at the channel points redemption stuff that I've added in just for this game.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Because I have 1.9k.
Yep. You'll be like, give me potions. It should be fun. I'm really expecting people to dick you guys over, honestly. That's like every D&D stream I've ever been on. If there's the option to mess with the party, they mess with the party.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So yeah, it looks like I'm just gonna have to. Because I'm in the objects and token layer, and it's
Oh,
just not letting me paste
no.
anything.
I also have to build a. Oh, I have to build a fucking. That's really upsetting. Okay. Never have to
These
open
channel
Streamlabs
points.
ever.
It's gonna be fun. Don't worry about it.
Totally.
I'm scared.
You should be. But yeah, I just realized I'm probably actually gonna have to keep my my dashboard open because I will not have access to the chat otherwise. But yeah, it won't let me work any like it's just not letting me do tokens at all. Going to edit, it's like use selected token. I'm like, okay. Let me try to use the selected token. It said nah.
I'm like queen of keeping like being able to do the tokens and then accidentally keeping them on the GM layer.
There we go. Okay. All right, so we got one done. We have Crimsteel or Crimson, which I assume is Chief's character. I'm gonna have to
Thing.
do a thing.
Why don't my command? Why does my command not work?
Obviously it's because you're a scrub and it doesn't want to listen to you. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Must
That's
be.
Mostly the technology not wanting to listen.
yeah. That is like that's just what I figure every time that something goes wrong for me. It's just it's because I'm a scrub, obviously. Good.
Yep, that was me. I streamed yesterday, and my transitions weren't working, and I was like, "This is my fault somehow."
Yep. All right, cool. So I have Lilith's token done, and I have Crimsteel's token done. That's fine. We didn't need to be all set up anyway. We're just having a blast. So hopefully I can get Therion's
Definitely
done.
not.
What?
Hmm?
Oh,
We definitely don't
yeah.
need to be all set up. We're fine.
No, we're fine. We're cool. All right, Chief said that he just got home. That was really loud, Mr. Notification. I didn't need that. Thank you. And like, I have another D&D setup, but it's my Pride Month setup, so it's just like this massive rainbow. Um, I was like that seems a little weird to be streaming Strahd to. So until I get my other D&D setup finished and redone, I need to not use that one.
You don't want Strahd to be all rainbows?
All rainbows and loveliness. No, I can show you guys what it is. I can just put it in the Discord. No, not to Stormwalker. Just to the general channel. There we go. All right, and general. And like this was the Pride background I was using for my D&D stuff. And it's a little too crazy for Curse of Strahd.
Sorry, I just realized that I have a shirt on that the wouldn't look the best. So
That's fair.
change. Rapid shirt change because no one sees below my waist anyway.
Yep, that's. I mean, I am wearing pants, but half the time I don't. Don't worry about it.
No one needs to know that.
Yeah, I didn't just say it right on my frickin' stream. Of course not. It's totally not something that I
have
just
to
did.
see if the command is working. That's the issue.
Well, I know you're lying because streamers don't have legs.
Okay, Streamlabs bot, why are you not working like you're fucking supposed to? There. Just because you weren't turned on. Is that why? Yep. Yep. Cool.
That is, like I said, that's exactly it. It's so good.
Fuck me.
All right. So I don't have. Mario's was the bright red one, right? Yeah, I think his is the bright red one. It's gonna be really weird. Whenever I actually want to stream Mario, I'm just gonna have this Mario picture in the background. Like, that's not really Mario. Same color scheme, very different personality.
Okay, how do you set it up? You would know this. How do you set it up to give you an alert when someone donates?
There's a Twitch extension for that.
Uh,
Yeah. But it's a stateside extension, not a Canadian one, so it's hard for me to use. Apparently, it is a little hard to hear you guys, so I'm going to boost you up a bit.
I can also adjust my audio better.
It's actually probably because I have my desktop set to mid instead of high.
I also had my gain turned almost completely down.
Okay, there we go. And then, Patron, if you don't mind, when you have a chance, can you talk a little bit just to do a test? Oh no, Patron's died.
Oh no.
I was washing my hands. I was also kind of dying because coughing, but I'm not dead.
That's good.
Window
I'll be getting on my good
capture.
microphone in a second here.
Okay.
P1. Window capture 2. Properties. You are going to capture. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. I think everything's set up for the most part. I also have to.
Just trying to double check, make sure I got everybody. I'm not sure I got everybody. So I have Grimsteel, Lily, Therian, Mario. Oh, it's still just listed as P5 because we haven't typed in a sheet name for you yet. It's like, who the crap is P5? Who hasn't added a name yet? Well, now I know. But that is you, Miss Purple Lady.
Streamlabs is done. There's a Strahd is going here. Turning that off, turning that off, turning that off. Switching to that. I think mine's. Zoomy followed me 8 days ago. What are you doing, Zoomy?
Okay, and all right, I think Chief's here. You here, Chief? Doing a talk?
I'm here.
Perfect. Can you keep talking for like 10 seconds
Why?
so I can test your microphone volume and see if I have to adjust you?
But you should already have it at the perfect levels. We only talk daily.
I'm sorry. I have it perfectly for me, but not perfectly for everybody else. So like,
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, good. I've never talked in voice with you for very long, so I had to adjust you as well.
I've never spoken a word in my life.
the
Very
great
fair. Like
silence is broken.
I can continue the fuck with you guys and adjust the gain on my microphone so it's never proper for you guys.
Oh, please, please don't. My best friend just gaslit me today.
Oh my God.
He texted me and he was like, "You want to play Divinity?" And I was like, "I have D&D." And he was like, "You didn't tell me you had D&D when you brought it up last night." And I was in had like a 25-minute conversation about how good it is that I have D&D so we don't accidentally play Divinity for 12 hours.
Fair.
And I
All
was like,
right.
"I'm feeling really gaslit."
So that's three of us, well, four of us, including the GM. But whoever includes the GM, right? That's who does that.
Hogposh.
All right. And so,
Okay.
Chief, you're good to go, right? You have all your characters good. Everything's fine.
I think so.
I believe in you. Are you going to be streaming this as well?
No.
Okay.
My stream is going as well. Think.
Perfect.
Let me verify. Check audio levels. I don't have anybody to check audio levels for me. I have to do it manually.
I can pop in your stream, actually, if you want.
I'm muting myself for a second.
No worries.
Yeah, I could stream it, but I'm also tired. So,
Yeah, what were you up
Um,
to? That made you late for
uh,
D&D. How could you?
I was the third person here. Thank you very much.
You know who the first person was?
Not you.
Not me.
It was me, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
surprised.
Hey, I'm usually early for your game.
That's a fair point.
It's fair.
Um,
Um,
I was gonna ask something and I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh, do you have the? Can you turn the music up to the level you would normally have it at during game?
Yes. Bet there.
it's so loud and distracting.
There.
Okay.
Much better.
My audio output doesn't even capture that quiet of a sound.
Fair enough.
It's probably because I have Mozilla turned down.
Yeah, mine's at like a round -40 when that pops out, so it's like it's good. It's fine. Okay. Well, at least I think Zumi
No
said.
sound from the game, but voice works. Okay. Oh,
Oh God,
hey
it's
Huck.
gonna take me a
Hey Huck,
second
how's
to
it
get used
going?
to Roll20.
Yeah, so I think Lilith said she'd be here around 5:30, right? Yeah. I have no idea where it is that she said that. Okay. So how about we get started with you folks, and we'll see how it goes from there. Everyone's okay with this? No one's okay with this? Somewhere in the middle?
I'm okay with it. I'm getting used to Roll20 again.
Okay.
So just don't mind me.
All right, so just like everyone was aware of when we originally got everything together, we're going to be using our RPG consent list, which is something that's very important for all of us. You guys have been able to check over the list, and no one's messaged me to see if anything, or to talk about anything that is overly grotesque for them, or anything that should be changed. So I'm going to assume that our RPG consent checklist is good to go. Is it so for everybody? Like everyone's good with what we have written down?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, hey, DM.
Yep.
I need access to my character sheet.
Eh. All right.
I mean, unless you don't want to, in which case it's fine.
No, you're never allowed to have access to this.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to have a character. You just have to pretend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll be the best
That's fine.
pretend ever. It'll be great.
I'm very
So,
good at the game of pretend.
yeah. So we have a few methods of making sure we have checks and balances. So if you guys do feel uncomfortable, we do have the green, yellow, red system that we're going to be using to make sure that everyone's okay. Later on, when we have everyone's cameras up, we'll be using an additional system just in case people have something else to do or need something else to do and they can't just, they're too busy to type something out. But for now, if your character's acting upset or if there's some arguments going on and your character's actually still okay, make sure you type green so that we all know that the roleplay isn't being a bit too much for you. If you just need to step away for a second or you need to take a break, that's going to be yellow. Whether or not that's because you need a bio break or because something that has kind of upset you and you need to kind of wind down for a second, you say yellow. And if it's something you want to bring up later, we bring it up later. If something has completely crossed the line and you just need to like leave, then you say red. Preferably you would type these out, or if you need to, you can just like say red a few times in chat so that we know that you need to talk about stuff. We need to end the stream and move on. The schedule I have for the stream is at roughly we're going to be streaming from 5 to 9 MST most Saturdays, and at around 7 o'clock to about 7:10 we're going to take a quick break just so we can all go get water or get a snack or something. In case people are hungry, and then we'll come back and we'll stream until 9. 9 is not a hard end time, just like 5 isn't a hard start time. If we're in the middle of combat, of course, I don't want to like end that immediately and be like, all right, we roll for initiative and next week. I don't like being a dick like that, but it happens sometimes. Any questions, comments, queries, concerns?
Not that I have.
Okay. So, we are also playing with a few house rules, one of which is the new critical rule from 1D&D. That means that monsters can no longer critically hit players, and players only critical hit on weapon attacks and unarmed attacks. I think everyone knows this. If you earn a critical hit, then you gain inspiration. You also gain inspiration the old-fashioned way. Whenever you take a long rest, you lose any inspiration you had, so it's more of an incentive to use it to do some awesome stuff before you go to sleep. There was also an edge mechanic system, which both players and our lovely audience members will learn more about as we get into it. And I think that's about it. So, you are currently in the country of Prieth. It's a mostly mountainous area with a lot of volcanoes, and you're in one of the small importing towns known as... If I actually remember where you guys are. The small town of Giria. It's not adjacent to any smithy or any of the volcanoes they use to make their products, but instead is a tiny port that works with neighboring countries to import foods that are mostly impossible to grow. Giria itself is not particularly profitable, mostly because it only imports food. It's not like it's importing or exporting anything that's a luxury or a necessity. It's just a variety of food that's kind of okay to have. Um, in this town, there's a small inn, one of the small inns, called the Depths. It's definitely not the best place. It's a bit run down. The salty air that you can taste from being close to the ocean is redolent inside the inn itself, because not only are there gaps in the walls and the windows are literally just cutouts instead of glass, but there are a lot of sailors that stop by here for grog and the sort of watered down rum you'd expect in an establishment like this. There's a single elven bartender who's missing an eye, looks very scraggly, has a rough beard, so probably half elven if you had to make your guess. And a lot of loud noises and a lot of swearing, sailors kind of hanging around the place. There's a small band that's struggling to make music. Most of them seem to be drunk beyond measure, and the notes that they produce aren't exactly lovely to listen to. Would you mind describing your characters as you guys sit at a table together?
Okay, I'll go first then.
Okay.
Um, Therian is a fairly tall, pale-ish, um, human-looking person with long black hair tied back, um, with the things that aren't tied back white, fading from black to gray to white. Um, he wears chainmail that's also made of a black iron or steel, uh, carrying a great sword, also made from a blackened steel with a red handle. And he has a red belt of cloth that wraps around his waist. He gives off a urge of a aura of being annoyed at the moment, but not enough to not enjoy the company of his party members.
Okay. Next. Arabella, I'm so glad you volunteered.
Oh man, I was coughing. Arabella, she's kind of sitting towards the edge of the table. Um, she's she's very short with her right eye being very scarred. One goes straight down and through her cheek, almost towards the bottom of her jaw. And her arms are crossed. She's kind of leaning back. She's got white hair and these very icy blue eyes that are so light in color that they almost look silver. Uh, and she's just quietly kind of observing the group around her. She's in this like black and red scale mail. Her warhammer's kind of like resting beside her on the floor. And she's just like hanging out.
Okay. And Crimson?
I knew I forgot something. Give me a second. uh, I would say Crimson is humanoid looking as well. Currently has a bandana that has been pulled down so it's not covering his face, and it's just kind of resting loosely around his neck. Very brown eyes with very dark brown hair. He has a couple scars on the bottom left jaw that kind of one of them is longer than the other, that kind of goes down towards his neck, and the other one it just looks to be a nick. as well as um, a little bit of dirt, his just kind of here and there. Definitely has a farmer's tan, and is wearing just a um, dark black cloak, kind of concealing everything. And he has a very annoyed look to him as he's listening to this band play and just seems very annoyed at how they're playing drunkenly at the moment. That's currently all I got. So,
Okay. Having made your way to the depths some time ago, you've been staying here for a few days, and of course, as adventurers know, staying in one place for too long breeds familiarity. You can see a few of the sailors around you kind of cracking knuckles and glaring at you, this invasion of their space as they see it. Not only that, but of course, money runs low when you spend too much time at an inn. The half-elven bartender walks up and hands each of you another ale. On the house, he says, as he walks back towards the bar. There's a sudden rush of air, cold and almost frosty, and you see a man step through. Ordinary looking, a little ragged, wearing brightly colored clothes that don't seem to match very well. They're kind of bright red shirt and brilliant green pants definitely make them stand out from the crowd, especially because the man has such a rugged looking face with a beard that's only half kept and eyes that look worn and tired. He turns around once, looking at everyone, seeing if there are any open tables, before his eyes land on your group, and he comes over and sits down. I see you aren't the usual fare here, so how about we exchange stories and you buy me an ale? No? I took you
Or you
for
could buy
a...
us ales.
Well, I could. If you had an interesting enough story, that is.
She's squinting at him.
uh, I guess I'll say, why don't you tell me one of yours first, and I'll just pass the free ale that the barkeep gave to me over to him.
He'll take a moment and wet his lips, taking a small sip just to get a taste for it, and not bad. Well, I come from a people known as the Vistani. We travel, and we seek out new stories and songs to sing, and praise heroes, as it were. I have one such tale that might engage your interest. And he makes a motion, and you can see the small flicker of arcane energy as a tiny fire begins to hover just 2 or 3 centimeters above the table itself. And at this point, you can see a lot of the sailors turn towards him, this bluish green fire catching their attention as well. You see, we as the Vistani, we as a people, come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten. But it's a land of kings, and we are royalty. But our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander these long, lost roads, searching for our forgotten homeland, and perhaps a hero to help us. One night, on our journeys, long ago, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. Seeing as he wasn't one of those who were chasing us, we nursed his terrible injuries and quenched his thirst with much wine, and he survived. When we asked him who he was, he would give us no name. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. Being no strangers to travel ourselves, we took him in as one of our own, and followed him back towards his homeland. Yet his enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, for whatever cost. even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves, and the people were broken like sticks before a fire. This man of royal blood fought to protect us, as we protected him, and when we bore him safely to his home, he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish, leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. But a curse has befallen our noble prince, and turned him from a saint into a tyrant. We alone can travel to this mysterious place, and so we continue our roads, traveling far and wide, to find heroes to end the Dreadlord's curse and put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader, Madame Eva, knows much more than I do. And if you are indeed heroes, and wish for tales to tell, perhaps you could come with us and speak to her.
Well, the conversation wouldn't hurt.
Of course, you'll have to be careful. There are rumors of werewolves in the mists around here. And when the ocean's tide is high, people just vanish. You could, of course, walk with us if you so choose, or you could go alone with directions. The choice is yours.
At the mention of werewolves, Therian kind of shivers a little bit.
You need not be frightened, so long as you don't stray outside.
Oh, I'm not frightened. Therian looks at the rest of the party. Conversations don't hurt, usually. I would see no reason to deny this man at least that.
Conversations are fine, but there's been no price of what we're gonna get from this.
You do have a fair point there.
I mean, besides the everlasting gratitude of a royal lineage and a lord who owns his own land?
There has been a lot of deals that I have been a part of that have been, you'll get this, and then I've done a job and I haven't got anything besides a dagger in the back. So
Well, you're walking or sitting fine for someone who should be dead then. But trust me when I say you'll find his gratitude most profitable.
I think that's a good insight.
All right. For as an insight check, you can tell this person it definitely is holding something back. Is not telling you everything, but it's very hard to read. So you're unsure if there's some sort of like secret he's keeping, or if he's just not telling the whole truth.
Hmm.
Therian is going to ping one of his divine senses, one of 4 for the day.
Okay. As the kind of stretches out from you, you feel no strong sense of evil around here. No deep sense of anything unworldly or otherworldly. But at the very edge of your senses, 55, 60 feet out, there's this flitting motion of something you're not comfortable with. But you can't tell exactly what it is.
And that would be like outside.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can I use
Has something
Sorry.
has something followed you in here?
Many things follow the Vistani. By and large, things that crawl in the night. Have no fear. They won't bother us here.
Well,
Yeah. Can I use an investigation to try and like figure out, or like, would that be history to try and figure out what he's exactly talking about?
I would say it's a history check, because he has told you a bit of a story, so, in the past.
Because I do not like this. I can drag the whole dice. Sure. Cool.
Total of 20. All right. Um,
there's an inspiration.
that is an inspiration. You've heard of the Vistani, how they travel through various lands, and even though they might not be the best of people, they tend to smuggle and avoid tariffs. They tend to sometimes kidnap children. No one ever seems to be able to stop them. They just disappear, like will-o'-the-wisps in the fog. And wherever they go, the fog follows.
Hmm. So again, real bad vibes from this is what I'm getting from this history check.
Mm-hmm. He pulls out a single gold coin, stamped with a symbol of a raven and an imperial-looking face like none you've ever seen. He sets it on the table. Trust me when I say there is much more in it for you than just gold, but if gold is what you require, we have plenty. Hundreds, pauses, thousands, and takes a look at each of you.
Oh, that's sad.
He seems to be forthright here. Like he's telling the truth. He's being honest.
I'm motivated by money.
Well, I
One of
offered
them.
you the chance to be a hero, and you questioned me, so I'll offer you the chance to be rich instead.
Yeah, I don't know why you thought the hero thing would work.
Well, typically, with people of such ilk that they find themselves stared at by a group of sailors in a tavern, they've done something heroic, or adventurous, or dastardly. And any of those three might be able to help my lord, so I figured try the hero first. Do you disagree? Are you not heroes?
I disagree, yes. I can't say for the rest.
I've never seen a hero in my life.
Well then, has this just been a waste of my time? Or will you come with me? It's your
Won't lie,
choice.
my interest is piqued, but I am only one person.
Well, should you wish to have some time to discuss, he reaches into what looks to be a pouch at his side and pulls out a thin, wrapped bit of parchment. You're not sure if it's paper or if it's made of animal skin. He sets it down on the table. He finishes the drink, and you're not sure how, because he doesn't chug it, but all of a sudden it's gone. He steps back and says, just try not to get lost when you come to find me. And he steps out, having slaked his thirst, and told a story, leaving you alone, just the three of you.
Now that he is not in the room, his story seemed genuine. as though he believes what he's speaking is the truth.
Didn't that give off some really concerning vibes, though?
Yes, something followed him here. And when I asked him, he said things of the night, which would make sense
Mm.
on why my radar pinged the way it did. But
Yeah, the history, as I explain it to them, of their group is not the greatest.
yes, and that is true.
At this point, Therian, you begin to recognize what that feeling was at the edge of your senses. It was almost registered as undead, but not quite. Like they're only partially undead.
Of course. He thinks to himself, "Oh, another one of me. Wonderful," but doesn't say it out loud.
Hmm.
Well,
I felt
I'm
like the guy was a
hungry.
quack.
He was. He may be a quack, but also he showed power and believed what he was saying. So, if that is anything to go by, he may need our help, and one of us is money persuaded, the other one of us is persuaded by other things, and you, Annabelle, I don't know much about.
I think it's good if we keep it at like a casual. You don't need to know that much about me. I don't need to know that much about you,
Well,
right? Like we just need to know that we work good together.
from the times we've worked together, what would be your persuasion to do things? Just
Money.
money. Okay.
Money does make the world go round. I'm not exactly in a rush to dive out into the unknown for a theoretical pay job. Has anyone taken a look at the map yet? Or do we even know it's map, or has it still just been a bunched up
It is
scroll?
a rolled up scroll of parchment.
Uh, okay, can I unfold it and see what it is?
Yeah, it's tied with some sort of thick sinew, not from a creature you're familiar with, and as you untie it and roll it out, it's this old, weathered, and very stained map that appears to be a map of old Giria, and there's a bit of like scribbled handwriting showing where the Vistani are. They're maybe an hour's travel outside of Giria.
Like I said, a conversation doesn't hurt unless they decide to attack us, but information is important.
Well, I'm gonna let you know right now. I have no idea what this map is showing us besides that it's a lead mass of some sort. So,
Oh, this is a Therian is from around here, but not he hasn't been here for a while. Um, It's an old map of the place we are now and in the area we are now.
Hmm.
And this is about an hour north. Doesn't seem like it would be too bad of a walk if we want to go for a walk and learn more about what that man was saying.
Well, if you can provide us documentation of how much we'll be paid for doing this, I'll have no issues with this.
The issue with nobles is they say a number. They can say a number all day.
Exactly. I need to
Even if
be
we
shown.
even if they show us documentation, a contract, if it is not a very powerful contract, it's just a piece of paper.
So what you're thinking is they have to show us an actual amount?
I'm saying they would have to show you, yes, an actual amount. But even then, that doesn't stop them from, as soon as we enter the room, slaughtering us in our, and not having to pay us once whatever happens is done.
Very true.
If they are the monsters that you believe them to be, that could very much be a possibility, but again, conversations never hurt. And in times of drought, some people have the watering cans. So, doesn't hurt to get a lead.
Very true. Well, should we go chat with these people then?
I see no issue in it. Arabella,
I'll work for a quack. Why not?
yeah. Hopefully they aren't quack, though.
Okay. As you guys head out into the night, paying the tab that you owe, of course, you find yourself stepping out into a thick mist, a fog that wasn't there before. At least it hadn't come all the way to the door. The chill kind of seeps into your marrow almost immediately, leaving you aware of the surroundings, if not afraid. You can hear rustling in the distance, though none of you perceive any threats, as it were. You get the feeling something's around you. If you'd like, all of you can roll a perception check.
Yes, please.
Average today.
Awful.
I will also be doing.
Oh, I'm also really bad.
I will also be using my second use of this.
You don't sense any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you anymore. They don't even tickle the far edge of your ability to sense them. Instead, what you see, Therian, in the distance, is a torch, bobbing up and down as if somebody's walking slowly away from you. It seems to be heading the same direction as the Vistani camp.
Might as well follow it.
Are you all in agreement?
Head on a swivel, though.
As long as it's on the road. If it like starts going through bushes, hell no.
It does follow the road, and then it gets out of town, and that mist, that fog becomes so much more dense that you can barely see it, although it stays, you would assume, no more than 100 feet ahead of you, a occasionally begins to flicker, like you lose sight of it, as if it's hiding behind something, though no shadows are cast. It then turns off the road onto a beaten path. Looks heavily trod upon, though old, with thin vines and small sprigs growing from the center of the path, with the rest of it beaten down, as if stepped on for 100 generations. It's mostly dirt. And the scent of old moss and ancient trees seems heavy in the air.
Ooh. Was the camp on the main road that we're on?
Taking a look at the map, I'll get one of you to roll a survival check, please.
I can't. I
That's
can't.
not me.
I'll do it.
I can't read maps.
Hey.
I was like, that's not me.
Taking a look at the map, this does depart from where the Vistani should be headed. You're probably a good 10 minutes away on the road from where they would be. Where the turnoff should be, that is. So this is turning off too early.
He turned off at the wrong spot.
I give him the ye old sailor salute and then continue down the road.
Okay, you guys gonna ignore that then?
Yep. Well, I am at least.
All it was a torch. We couldn't see an actual person, right?
No, no person, just a torch.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't casting any shadows, it was just a torch.
I already heard enough stories from that guy alone saying that unnatural things, and he also gave us the warning of like unnatural
Of the
things
night.
following them. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stick to the road.
Okay.
Road is friend.
And let's follow the map they gave us.
Okay. As you turn away from that path, you hear a thin, fluted cry, like that of a child or a particularly high-pitched woman. And then it abruptly ceases, and the fog begins to thin and thin, until eventually it's just a distraction more than an obstacle. As you head down the road, never quite losing sight of the moons now, you find kind of an off-turning point. This one looking much more recent. Bits and pieces of horse dung still on the road itself. There's dirt, there's scrapes and scuffles, and old smooth stones as if this path was once a cobblestone road.
So I'm assuming this is the turnoff.
As far as Arabella can tell, this is the turnoff.
Arabella doesn't even answer the question. She just continues walking
And
in the right direction.
Therian, when the scream question mark happened,
Yep.
Did draw the great sword off his back and is staying armed in case something is to happen.
Yeah. So that thin scrape of metal on leather echoes far too loudly in the night and reminds you of a creature paused and waiting, its claws drawing in and out as it prepares to pounce. But no such thing happens. You make your way onward into the night to the camp. And in the distance you can see a bright light, a bonfire, and the fog dissipates entirely to the point where you can barely see it. Stars appear overhead, their bright light guiding you forward. And you see several dozen wagons encircling what must be a grand bonfire. But all you hear is the faint crackle of burning logs and broken tinder.
Well,
Getting not so positive vibes from this.
uh, approach cautiously is the best thing I can offer. Take it slow, methodical. We've been through enough together to know that this may not be as it seems.
I'm just gonna unsheath my 2 daggers and just hide them underneath my cloak so no one can really tell I have drawn them.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand for that.
Sure. Damn it, what is up with today?
It looks clumsy. There are two large bulges, and both of your party members can tell that you have daggers drawn, or that your fingers are pointing into your cloak. They're not sure which. But all of you begin to feel eyes watching you. Not menacingly, just there, waiting, observing. Do you enter the camp?
Do you see anyone in the camp?
You see no one. Just the flickering light and the surrounding wagons.
Hmm. So he did tell us to come by the camp with the wagons, right?
He did say come by the camp.
At this point, there's a loud jangling noise, startling all of you, and you hear someone shouting in the distance, "Hey! Hey, you forgot me! What's going on?" As our next party member joins us. Mario, would you like to see, would you like to say what you look like running up to the people who have abandoned you back at the inn?
So, hi, my name is Mario. Guys, you definitely forgot me, and I apologize. I had to get a few things, and I'm sorry I wasn't there. Usually, I have my sister do these things. Well, she usually does them for me, but as he's coming up in his red cloak, rapier by his side, shield. It's like shield is almost like a buckler. Actually, it's really small, and gives him free use of his right hand. Um, if anything like heavy were to ever hit it, like a full brunt like attack or something like that, it really wouldn't block much, but it's still there. Um, his cap is red, has a white feather in it, and it's just like a lot of white and red going on in his design. Um, but he's running up, bag in his hand or backpack, on his back or something like that. Just jingling and jangling along. Um, how he caught up to you is a very good question. How he even knew you're at is is an even better question. But he's here and he's out of breath for running for so long.
And the sudden breaching of a vast amount of noise seems to make the bonfire flicker, creating these dancing shadows just for a moment.
I'm going to sheath my daggers, look to the other two, and go, right, I knew we forgot something.
Yeah, sorry.
Arabella has moved over, and I don't think she can reach the top of Mario's head. So she just kind of pats his arm.
Thanks, sis. Next time, just let me know where we're going,
It's
please.
it's a quack guy.
No, I understand. Um, what are we doing actually? I'd see everybody was kind of on edge. Hi, by the way, we never met. But it was Umbrella, right? That's not in character. I'm trying to remember the pronunciation because I'm kind of drunk.
For
Trying to remember
Arabella?
the pronunciation. Arabella, there we go.
Yeah.
So I know Arabella. Who are you two? Because usually she's not very good with strangers and would usually try to fight them, but you know, I don't see her beating the shit out of either of you. So who are you two?
At this point, we might say that your character might be a little inebriated because these are people that he has adventured with before once or twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 No, that, yep, yep. That also. Who are you two?
Mm. Mario, you know us.
At this point, a
Who?
loud, piercing howl resounds from the forest around you.
I will start moving in the direction of the camp, so we have light.
God damn, these wolves are vicious tonight.
And you hear its echo on the other side. And then another, just behind you.
Do we
Mhm.
see anything?
Um, Unless you wish to make an active perception check, none of you sees anything, no.
Sure. I will roll a perception check. Neat.
I will roll one as well.
Damn, Arabella. Okay.
I
Um,
I do have expertise in sight. I'm CSIs.
okay, yeah, no, that's good, yep. So, Crimson, you taking a look around, you see the very barest trace of something moving in the forest. Arabella, you spot eyes glowing yellow and teeth that seem to catch the firelight, but they're staying at a distance. Almost like they're encircling, but not getting any closer than you'd say 70 feet or so. They're hovering at the edge of that mist that you just left. And Therian,
I'm
you see
going
much the same.
to point it out.
Mario's just like, guys, we're outside.
Huh.
You know,
Mario, you know who I am. But look over there.
looking. Ooh, is it? It's really dark,
Let's
but
just go into
it's
the
fuzzy.
camp.
I want to pet it.
No petting the wolf.
Oh, it's a wolf.
Yeah.
C can I still pet it?
No,
No.
it will bite your hand off.
Oh,
Let's move into the camp.
he just drops his head and like slowly starts moving to the camp.
Seems as though they're staying in the mist.
Arabella will take point at the back.
All right.
While we're approaching the camp, can I see if there's like footprints of people leaving recently?
Go ahead and make a survival check.
Oh, it's wonderful.
You take a look at the ground, and there are several dozen different footprints. You're not able to age or date them very, very well, but you can tell that there were definitely people here probably as recently as an hour ago.
Hmm. I'm also going to point that out to everyone.
Mm.
This just seems like it's getting stranger and stranger.
Why tell us to come here if they're not going to be here now?
Maybe they were eaten by wolves.
Wouldn't that be real funny?
Oh. Here's a thing. Maybe they turned into wolves. That would be pretty cool and a hell of a story to tell.
Oh. Let's look through the camp and see what's going on.
As you head in, intermingling amongst the cabin, or the I suppose I should say the cabin of the wagons, because they are full covered wagons, little houses on wheels. You come to the center and you can see 2, 3 dozen stools, all sat around a large bonfire, with nobody tending it. Though the color of the flames is not what you expected, rather than the bright yellows, oranges, and reds that you've come to be accustomed to. Faint blues and greens, almost a coppery orange, dance giving light. And you see on one of the stools, the one closest to the fire, another wrapped bundle, very similar to what you were given before.
Hmm.
Can I suss out if the fire is magical in nature?
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check, please.
I would like to open the
16.
creepy bundle.
Okay. So you take a moment, you look at the fire itself. Determining basically what it is almost impossible, but you do feel the faint emanations of some sort of arcane magic coming from it. Perhaps illusory, or maybe it's a conjured fire. Not sure exactly what it is, but you do feel it is magical in nature. Taking a moment to look at the rolled up bundle. Boop. You guys get that.
City
Do,
of Might and Valor, I love.
do one of you want to read it out loud?
Sure. Hail to the knight and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, 10 homes, send. I'm sorry.
You
Wow.
know, if you scroll down a little bit, it's typed out, so you can
Oh,
read
is
it
it? Oh,
properly.
okay. Thank God. Hail to thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. Plead for thy to desperately send assistance. The love of my life, Irina, whatever her last name is, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have her saved from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer all that might be had to thee and thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. Come quickly, for a time is at hand, and all that I have shall be thine. Koylin Indrovich, Burgomaster.
Dirovich.
You see, I told you there would be money in it for you, and the gentleman that you're familiar with steps out of one of the wagons.
I feel like as soon as he says that, like I'm like about to throw a knife towards him.
Calm
Yeah.
yourselves, calm yourselves.
Therian did whip around with the great sword and place it fairly close to this man.
So,
M-
there's your money.
Mario doesn't find it strange at all because he did the same thing not too long ago.
And as he's talking to you, you can see more people begin to come out of the wagons, very silent, very stealthily, without even a creak. There were probably 50 of them hiding in the wagons. Most of them not young, you'd say middle-aged, with very creased faces, very leathery skin, and all of them wearing brilliant colors, bright blues and pinks and greens, yellows and oranges, all of them kind of an eyesore. And they all begin chattering to each other in a low language you're not quite able to make out. It's almost common, but not quite. And he says, "So, you're here to share our fire and depart with us in the morning. Yes? You're so interested in the job. And there are wolves about. It would be dangerous to leave alone." He grins.
Um,
I'm very confused. So, who is this Burgomaster? What the hell is a Burgomaster?
Why, he's the
I think
master of
it's
a burg.
I think it's like pronounced like Burgermeister. Like he mises on burgers.
Oh, so it's a burger joint.
Yeah.
He's
Or
what
is
you would
he?
call a mayor.
So he's like one of the dukes I've read in my stories or the books.
Very close to.
I'm just gonna stare at his what he said as I still have no idea what that means.
Arabella's face wrinkles at the words mayor and dukes.
So you're
Oh,
welcome to share of our fire and eat of our food, drink of our wine, and partake. as he kind of gives a sly grin. And then in the morning, we travel.
Can I vibe
That's
check him
that's
like
that's
again? He's
was
just
that
so
sly grin
creepy.
directed towards anyone specific?
A little. It was a little directed towards Mario, just a kind of thing.
Or that kind of partake. Okay.
Okay. Can I just he's just so creepy. Can I please vibe check him again?
Absolutely, you can.
He's just creepy. Okay, not
You
close.
get this like deep, unsettling feeling, especially because with your abilities and perception, you should have been able to detect the people in the wagons, but they. It's unsettling. It's uncanny how quiet these people are. And Therian, you get the idea that this person is buttering you up, trying to get on your good side so you'll do him a favor. Like all of this excess, flamboyant display of the wolves and the fire and the suddenly appearing is a way to get you off your guard so that you just agree with what he wants. And what he wants is for you to follow him.
You're quite clever. I'll give you that.
Well, no one's ever accused me of being dull before, so I would assume I am.
Oh no, I'm very quite intrigued. Do you mind sharing a little tale of how this came to be and what exactly what your position entails to be, um, and make it brief. I do love a good short story.
Well, as I told your friends before, we are Vistani. We travel from place
Hmm.
to place, seeking out heroes who are willing to help our longtime friend. A friend who never gave us his name, but rules over a small territory. He's recently been cursed, and so I'm hoping that you four might prove the solution to this problem.
Ooh.
It's actually, hold on 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4. We forgot another person.
Oh, right. There's another one.
I I passed her along the way. I told her where to follow me. Hopefully, she got the directions.
That's okay. Half of our camp will stay here in the morning, and half will travel on. Madame Eva is anxious to meet new people. He says, looking all of you up and down, almost predator-like.
Ooh?
All of you. He just looks all of you up and down.
No, not you. I don't care about you. Who's the name of the person? They aren't on this contract. Or this
Mad-
note.
Madame Eva. She's the leader of the Vistani.
He did mention us, or he did mention her to us, like we were gonna go talk to her
Yes.
Yeah.
originally.
That note is
Oh.
not some sort of contract. It is a demonstration. We've been entrusted with finding heroes. You see?
For what? It just sounds like you guys just needed to off this Irina. She was affected by an evil so deadly. That'd protect the world, wouldn't it?
Sometimes curing is better than killing.
Last I checked, you didn't just kill somebody because it was convenient. You're starting to sound villainous. Though villains do have their uses, of course.
One does
Uh,
not simply present and embellish for fun. You want something from us. You want this favor. You need
Yes,
this favor.
you're not wrong.
Hmm.
But these are
uh,
things to talk about on the journey. Instead, how about you join us for food and drink? Trust me when I say the Vistani have such pleasures as you've never imagined.
I don't.
I don't even want to imagine what his face looks like when he said that.
Oh, it's split into this massive grin as he has his arms around a few of his folk.
The more and more he's getting super friendly with his folk, the more and more I'm like backing away from him. Like,
I kind
yeah,
I
I'm
would
not
like to
feeling this.
I
Uh,
I would like to lean towards Mario and like whisper to him and go,
yeah,
remember when I said we were meeting a quack? I think we just met a cult instead.
you know, I I I would agree with you, but again, time the last time I met a cult, they accused me of being in one. So,
Well, I mean the last well, they were taken care of. That's fine.
yeah, that tower did fall pretty far.
Yeah. So it's fine.
Also, how do you know how much we're supposed to be getting paid for this?
No,
Uh, no, he had never gave us like a proper number, but I'm assuming it's gonna be a lot. If it's not,
He's
I'm gonna be very pissed off.
he's gonna take his the back of his right hand that doesn't have the shield in it and touch your forehead. It's like, are you okay? This is usually not like you. Usually you get the usually you know what you're getting into first. Did I miss something while I was gone?
No and yes. It's just like I fucking hate this town.
Uh, Understandable. Very understandable. But okay, I'll trust your judgment.
And also like I don't know. This guy feels funny.
It's like funny, haha, or funny, oh my god.
No, like funny, um, funny, weird, funny, bad, kind of like funny, haha, I broke my foot when you know,
So
or like,
funny, oh my
haha,
god.
you snapped me, weird.
So yes, definitely jotting down as the oh my god. So I shouldn't take him up on his offer because he's really, really convincing right
Yeah, just,
Okay.
don't let your guard down.
now. Okay, I won't.
Okay, I'll keep extra eyes too.
Okay. There's a moment of silence, and then people begin bringing out instruments. Quite a few of them. They sit down, and they begin playing an almost, I would say, lively tune. As you're all given kind of birth to around the fire, and are brought several chalices or cups of wine, and given space essentially, so that there aren't too many strangers around you, and you're all sat together. Although you do see Therian is already off to the side, chatting amicably with a lovely lady.
uh, I do not accept the goblet of wine.
Mario definitely does. Like, oh, thank you. Running here has made me I'm a bit parched, and I do love my wine.
Yeah, as you start drinking or take a sip, it's not of a vintage you're familiar with. It tastes almost bitter at first and becomes sweet, almost too sweet very quickly. But not bad.
Hmm. You know, this is probably actually the first time I've had like wine. I've read about it in the tower and described like the feeling and the taste, but like this is better than I could imagine. You guys really take some.
Oh, you can have mine when you're done. I'll take your empty cup too.
Ooh, yee.
Uh, Looking around this camp, they don't look wealthy, do they?
You see that quite a few of them have gems and jewels kind of beringing their fingers and surrounding their necks on thin chains, or in some cases very thick chains. A gaudy collection of jewelry that easily matches any noble's table. They look relatively wealthy.
Does that match the
Um,
description of what I heard about them?
Very much so, yes.
Hmm.
And question, are they like actually no. Am I allowed to investigate to see if they are truly noble or are they feigning it? Because Mario did get training on nobility.
I would say roll either an insight or a history check.
Okay. I can do, let's see, history. Well,
Based on the kind of nobles that you've interacted with and the people that you've talked to, these people comport themselves kind of like a mix between nobility and peasantry. Like maybe they used to be royal but are no longer.
hmm
So you're not quite sure.
hmm. Well, nothing out of the ordinary considering they live in this camp. He's gonna keep that a little bit to himself.
Okay.
But he is going to ask, sir, besides the fine wine, food, jewelry, and everything, what's with the wolves?
The wolves follow us occasionally. They are creatures of the night that are displeased with the fact that we are attempting to rescue our homeland, well, one of our homelands, from dismay and despair.
And you said how far have they followed you?
For as long as I can remember, since I've been a child.
So, so if they're displeased with you and your whole like thing, why don't they attack you?
We are protected from the creatures of the night. Our Lord gives us that protection. These fogs,
Okay.
these mists that you walked through are His, and so long as you bring no harm to us, you'll be safe.
Are these wolves, now I kind of have to ask, are these wolves, of the, of the natural, natural persuasion? Because I've read somewhere that, wolves don't tend to stray very far from their home.
The man just grins and pushes the cup that you have up to your mouth so you can drink some more wine.
I'm never gonna say no to that.
But I am Stanimir. I forgot to introduce myself earlier, or at the very least, I chose not to. Not until you decided on whether or not you would come to my tiny gathering here. It's a pleasure to meet you all for the second time.
Stanimir?
Yes.
Okay.
And I trust you'll all have a pleasant evening, but as you can see, I'm not exactly the youngest of fellows. If you have any questions for me, now would be the time to ask. Otherwise, I shall retire to my wagon while you enjoy the pleasantries of my people. No questions? Most excellent. I wish you and
Or
yours a... Oh, yes?
no, I'm just saying Mario's like at this point like drinking the wine and like sneaking food.
They have a surprising amount of like meat pies and pastries that are filled with different varieties of chicken and beef and pork. They seem to eat a lot of meat. But he'll head into his tiny little wagon and close the door. And you're left with these several dozen Vistani who seem to be keen to hear stories and wait on you and give you food and wine and dance, among other things.
You said a few of them were playing instruments, right?
Yeah,
Um, is there anyone playing like I mean, probably, but is there anyone playing like a lute or a lyre?
yes, absolutely.
Then Mario would like to go up and talk to that one and see if he can show him how to play lute or lyre as they are conversing and everybody's doing their own thing.
Okay, so Mario wants to learn how to play those instruments?
Mario wants to learn how to play those instruments.
Okay. So as you're talking to them back and forth a little bit, go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
And I'm good at persuasion. It's still a fucking 9.
They kind of grin, and they're strumming away at their lute, and you can hear the sounds kind of change to being almost like something's laughing at you. Like this strum seems to almost be giggling, and the man says, I would love to teach you, but it seems to me that you just don't have the fingers for it.
Hmm. Well, that's sad to hear. Usually I've learned that, talent isn't everything. If you put in enough hard work, you can do just about anything.
That's true. With enough dedication, one can overcome the hurdles of having small fingers.
Well,
But
makes everything else look fun.
fair. And he takes a moment and just hands you his lute. Go ahead, strum for me. And make
Uh,
a performance check, please.
okay. Uh, 15.
You start trying to replicate what he was doing earlier, and that like giggling sound. You're not able to quite get it right, but as he begins strumming, he nods his head. How
I
old are
try.
you exactly?
Um, I'm only well, 23.
You're a little old, but you could always join the Vistani, become one of our people, marry into the family, because you do have a small bit of talent, and we always do prize talented musicians.
I appreciate the offer, but my heart is already taken by one such, and she has a little bit other. Um, but I hope to get hers one day and prove myself to her as well.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion with advantage this time.
Okay.
Okay?
23.
Keep that loot. Keep it with you, and
Oh,
think on my offer. And should you come back to me one day, being a little more proficient, and needing, perhaps, a place to stay and a person to be with, you can definitely find it here.
oh.
And he
Well,
reaches back
thank you
and
very
pulls out.
much.
He pulls out like a set of hand cymbals and begins ringing them off to the beat of the music. So you have acquired a lute. It will take 100 days of practice to become proficient in it,
Okay.
and we'll
Uh,
consider the first day already done.
Um, I'm just kind of watching what's going on around and like looking for anyone like specifically approaching with intentions to talk. Specifically to Arabella, because she's not very talkative. She will panic.
A few people seem to sense your kind of unease, your anxiety, and a few of them, older, kind of matronly women, approach and sit down next to you. You seem to be having a hard time. Are you not free to relax?
Um, Relaxing isn't something I tend to do, no.
Well, keeping yourself all bottled and stressed up will lead to early wrinkles and lines. You wouldn't want that now, would you?
Ah, you're right, because my face is just so lovely.
It is.
it
And
really is.
she takes a moment to like hold your chin and move your face towards hers. It really is. Here. And she like takes your hand and puts a small little looks like a custard tart in it. Eat up. Relax. And understand we're not going to harm you here. We need your help. And you're protected as long as you're with us. Much like he was long ago.
Um, I have a question about that. Why are you guys so like open to letting new people in if that one really kind of screwed you over?
Our Lord never screwed us over. He gave us the ability to travel freely to any land we could possibly desire. He
Right.
protected us as we protected him.
And now he's evil and still hasn't kind of.
Now he is cursed, not evil.
Okay.
Misguided, not wrong. And he's still incredibly handsome, if I might add.
Are you trying to set me up with someone who's cursed?
Well, if you free him from the curse, then there's no need to worry now, is there?
I don't know. I'm Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. She just shoves that custard tart in her mouth to stop talking.
Yeah. And you quickly find your hand filled with another goblet of wine as she moves away and begins trying to organize the musicians to create a livelier tune, almost like dancing music.
I hand the wine to Mario.
Mario's like 5 cups deep at this point.
More wine. Says you're the best. Oh,
I
he
have the
gives you the
weirdest
big
feeling
old wet hug.
Arabella's going to be holding his head while he vomits later.
As
You
you,
don't say.
He's spilled wine on them already and stuff like that. So he just gives you a big wet hug when his cloak being soaked. Oh,
Why are you sticky?
that's a really good question, and I will answer that after this chalice of wine.
now, as you folk are sitting there talking, the band begins to pick up, and I need all of you to make charisma saving throws. Mario, you have disadvantage because you're drunk. All
Son
right.
of a bitch.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
You still have your
Oh, yeah, the
inspiration if you
inspiration.
need it.
Inspiration.
Yeah, I do not trust this at all. A lot
Okay.
better.
All right. So
You went from
Mario,
a 1 to a 19. Good job.
Mario's the only one who fails, and as you feel in your chest the deep thump 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 of the drums starting, you begin to feel this need to dance, and you begin dancing as best as you can while inebriated, while everyone else looks on. The Vistani begin to clap and stomp their feet, a lot of them joining in your goofball of a dance. Go ahead and roll a performance check again for me.
Disadvantage.
I would say just regular. You're drunk, but not like awful. Oh.
Oh. Oh yeah. No, I'm awful.
And he's like
I
It's
am
his
off.
shuffling.
first dance. Leave him alone.
I am
I
offbeat. I have never had to dance before. Only fight.
Yeah, there's an inordinate amount of hip thrusting that's just a little too much, and there's like disco finger going everywhere. It is the weirdest bit of dance you've ever seen. But the night passes relatively quickly, with, if you choose to, a decent night's sleep. When you awake in the morning, the Vistani
Hell
are
no.
all the Vistani are all gathering together. They're making eggs, cooking bacon, getting breakfast ready, packing up again half of their encampment, while the other half begin to relax after the food's cooked. By midday, you're ready to go, and even though the sun is high in the sky above you, that fog at a distance of around 100 feet still swirls and obscures your view.
Does anyone have any more wine? I heard if your head hurts from drinking the dog of the hair, whatever bit you last night, fix it.
Um,
A roughly halfling-sized Vistani, which you note is actually a halfling, strides up to you, grinning, with this kind of gap-toothed smile, with 2 or 3 of her teeth rotted away, and hands you a mug that smells awful. She says, "Go ahead, drink up. Should be fine. Don't worry."
Who's gonna sniff it? How awful are we talking?
It's like somebody mixed orange, like just the flavor, with excrement, you assume? No, no, no. Drink up, drink up. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna give you inspiration for that. That was the most realistic, awful drink I've ever listened to someone do. It immediately like clears up your stomach, that nauseated feeling, that dry mouth. All of it goes away. You're left with a small headache, but nothing too severe. Now, Crimson, I need you to roll a con save, please. DC is 10. Okay,
Why
you are
me?
18.
you are not exhausted. Oh, that's no, not Mario. Crimson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Crimson, you stayed up all night. You might earn a level of exhaustion.
Oh, that's fine. What was it? Constitution, you said?
Constitution. You have earned a level of exhaustion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I already knew
that
that.
is your second nat 1. Love it.
Roll
To be fair,
roll
I also
20.
rolled in that one on my constitution, but just like in real life.
Fair.
Roll 20 does not care. It's like, oh, you need this crucial roll to like matter. No. Or you want this thing to not succeed. That's 20.
Yep. Okay. So you make your way into the... Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's not what I want to show off. 1 second. By the way, there is a picture of the Vistani, which I will pop up for you guys right now. They're kind of like of every race and creed. They wear bright colored clothing. They're a very multicultural society. So I'm assuming you guys got that real quick there. A nice
A
little
really cool
picture.
picture.
Hmm.
Where'd you put it at?
I
Uh,
shared it to all the players.
yeah, it's you just look at on the fuck brain fog. Roll 20.
Oh, there we go. Huh.
But as you come to Barovia itself, or come to the land that they're offering to bring you to, you know this is unusual topography for Giria. This isn't what it should be like. Overhead, the sky dims from this bright blue to rolling thunderclouds that cast a gray pall. The birds and chirping things that you hear in the distance slowly settle and then disappear, replaced by some other noises, like creaking in the distance. As you get closer to this wall of fog, it becomes ever more clear that wherever you're headed isn't in Giria at all. And the fog itself does dissipate once again after traveling through it. You find yourselves in front of large gates, a big stone wall flanked by two large stone soldiers. You guys should have another handout there.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
The gates themselves are partially ajar, and Mistani head towards them without a hint of hesitation. Do you follow?
Sis, remind me to get a book to write some of this shit down because this would make an amazing story to tell the lady in red.
Um, I, I don't know if I have paper, but like, yeah, I guess just start writing it down when you can.
Yeah, I don't even have a quill. That's why I want you to remind me. Um, yeah. Um, well, guys, what should we do?
I mean, we agreed to doing this, right?
no. I don't think any of us said yes, we'll help with this. I think we just started following them, which
Oh,
I
right.
really don't trust them.
We were doing good exercise, right?
They did. They are. They are very, very helpful. I can vouch for that one.
I feel like wolves wanting to attack them at any point isn't really good.
But I have read where there, some wolves or hounds or whatever, not not very good. In fact, some of them are like messengers of death. So who knows?
Well, maybe death just kind of follows them around like a weird.
It wouldn't be unlike ourselves.
But as I was saying, as you approach the gates themselves, the they open ever so slightly, just a little more. You guys can see in the bottom right-hand corner there's a gate there where the page should bring you now. And you find yourselves in some woods of some sort. Towering trees whose tops are lost in the heavy gray mist block out all but a death gray light. The tree trunks are unnaturally close to one another, and the woods have the silence of a forgotten grave and give off the feeling of an unvoiced stream. As you pass through, Stanimir kind of lightly brushes one of the trees and looks at his hand afterwards, and he brushes it off his leg. Both Therian and Arabella, you smell something in the air that displeases you. Go ahead and roll perception checks, please. Arabella, you're unable to recognize the scent, but Therian, you've smelled this before. It's the scent of death, of something recently killed. You think you could follow that scent, but it would
Is it
take you off
just
the
death
path.
or is it blood?
Definitely blood and rot.
Um, the Aryan will force himself not to go in that direction.
Okay.
Seems if anybody is paying close enough attention to him, you see that he kind of steps in that direction and then goes, "Oh, that's not a good idea," and continues on.
All right. With none of you any the wiser, you begin treading onward, moving towards a village. Tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for the mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
Talk about a ghost town.
Stenimir holds up one finger to his mouth. The people here can be soulless. Be very careful in who you talk to.
Sis, I might be in trouble. I like talking to everyone.
I can fix that.
Oh,
When
can
in
you?
when in doubt, just talk to the people that you know.
Okay, okay, okay.
And as he says this, he turns towards you. Now, if you are more interested in talking with the Burgomaster than with Madame Ava, you can stop here. This is his village. However, should you wish to continue on and talk to the lady, you'll have to follow us. Your decision.
I'm leaving it up to you guys. You guys obviously know a lot more that's going on than I do. I just happen to pick up the trail and follow.
Oh. Depending how the conversation goes with your madam, we may come back to you.
But for now, you wish to follow me, yes? His eyes
I
kind of
do.
sparkle a little. There's an almost dangerous edge to his grin. Then follow. And he continues on through the village itself. It takes you most of another day of travel. And it's not easy by any means, although it's easier than if you were alone. The food is plentiful and it's good company. As you cross a bridge
I
and
crossed a
travel.
horse today.
Yeah, it's good. And travel across what appears to be mostly open terrain. A road of sorts becomes apparent as the faint bits of cobble here and there still turn up. Instead of following the road, which takes a sort of southward dip, your group turns northwestward into a large shroud of trees. The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of many wagons. A canopy of mist and branches suddenly give way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each around 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures round a bonfire, and a footpath continues beyond the encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge.
I am getting an overload. This is a lot of clashing like ideas. I feel something is so off, but they're being very helpful, and I just can't put my finger on it. Anybody else getting that feeling?
From the second I met them.
All right, and here's where we'll take our first break. So if I can get you guys back here by like 7:05, 7:10, we'll be good to continue on. Until then, my wonderful friends who are watching from the audience, we'll see you in just a little bit.
I did.
Alrighty. So welcome back, folks. We'll get right into it. You've wandered into or been led to a Vistani encampment. Now, the encampment itself is known as the Serapul encampment. When you're brought there, you are kind of sat around the fire, and Stanimir talks to someone very quickly and hurries into the large tent that's set off to the side. I did swap you all to the tent, right? Or to
Yes,
the
you did.
Yeah. Okay.
To the
The
camp? Yeah.
So, another one, the one that Stanimir approached, comes forward and bows. And says, "It was fated that you would visit our humble camp. Madame Ava foretold your coming. She awaits you, and once Stanimir leaves, you're free to enter." And she gestures towards Madame Ava's tent.
Well, guys, ladies first.
Arabella turns her head to like look at Mario with a really,
I'm
but does go in first. Avoidance time.
Okay. So you catch like Stenimir coming out, of course, as you guys head in. Magic flames cast a sort of reddish glow over the interior of the tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. "At last you have arrived." Crackling and cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips. "I know of you, each of you. And now you're here, just like I predicted. Hello, Arabella. So nice to see you in one piece after the war, and after your failure. Therian, I thought your thirst might prevent you from joining us, but it seems I was wrong. And Mario, no tower to obstruct you now, I see. Lilith,
right.
well, we all know what you've done. And Crimson. Oh, dear Crimson. Still on the run. But here.
Who is she talking to? I'm sleeping somewhere.
Oh, okay, fine. Then you weren't there. Never mind. But here. Join me, and I can tell your fortune. Should you desire. Yes?
You can tell fortunes.
Absolutely, I can.
Can I just kind of
you cut out. Or my headset just died.
No, she
No,
definitely
I
cut
think
out.
you cut
Otherwise,
out.
Okay.
otherwise she went shh.
That'd be funny.
Okay,
I don't know.
Are you?
sister.
shove Mario just a little bit towards the lady to go first?
Oh, sis, you don't have to. I was gonna sit down first.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
It caught up.
Which one?
Mario, roll a d20.
Straight up D20.
Yep.
All right.
Looks at you. I see no fortune in your favor. Difficulties and pain, yes. Next, please.
I want to know what she meant by we all know what you've done.
She definitely knows. It sounds like she definitely knows what we did last summer.
Come on. We don't have all day. I am old
Therian
after
will
all.
step up.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
I forget how to roll.
Ah, in you I see the vaguest hints of self-causing grief. Your own greed will be your undoing, unless you are very careful. Come on, next.
I will do it.
You share Therion's fate. Your own greed will lead to the destruction of many. Poor child. And you, she kind of looks over to you, Arabella. You can see one of her eyes clouded while the other is bright blue. What of you? Come forward.
Arabella steps forward a little awkwardly.
For you, I see gaudy adornments, titles you do not deserve, fake jewelry, gloss and dross, all wrapped into one. Pay no heed to those who would give you up to be a false idol. Remember who you are and your failings, and be better the next time. She takes this moment to pull out what looks to be an emerald earring and puts it in your palm and closes your hand over it. Just a single one. But of course, you're all here for a greater purpose than individual fortune tellings. You're here to help the Dread Lord atop his castle deal with the curse that binds him to this land. So here. What are you going to say?
Miss, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Madam Ava, um, our fortunes that you read out were pretty bleak, yet you still want our aid?
Everything is bleakest before the dawn. I have my doubts of your courage and abilities, but other prophecy tells me you may yet succeed, and I will place my faith in that. Yes.
I literally cannot argue with that logic, so, yeah, never mind then.
She takes out a deck of cards that have they're black on the back with a silver border and twin ravens fluttering in the middle. She shuffles them. And now, I will tell you things of great import. Things you need to know. She puts the first card down. The second. A third. A fourth. And a fifth. Remember these. She flips over the first one. And you see a card. And it looks to be some sort of combination of glyphs. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. I see a garden dusted with snow, watched over by a scarecrow with a sackcloth grin. Look not to the garden, but to the guardian. She moves to the next one. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection. A powerful holy symbol of great hope. I see an evil tree that grows atop a hill of graves where the ancient dead sleep and dwell. The ravens will help you find it. Look for the treasure in its roots. She goes to the third. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of ultimate vengeance. A sword. Yes, a sword of pure sunlight. Takes a moment. Look to a place where sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried, this treasure lies still. She hesitates for a moment. This next one is terribly important. It sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against the curse and against darkness. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, long shattered. The fetters of sanity don't bind him, but his spells are strong. Seek him. And finally, she flips over the last one. The Lord is a creature of darkness, whose powers are far beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him when the time is right. You will find him lurking in the Hall of Bones. In the dark pits of his castle, you will find him alone. And then all the strength seems to kind of leave her body. She reclines. I have shared much with you this day. And hopefully, it will help you. Now I assume you have questions. Ask.
Yes. First of all, what was that? What was that? What's the deck that you drew? I've I've
This,
heard of I've heard of them, but not quite in that form.
these are the Taroka deck.
Hmm.
They help me tell the future.
Hmm. And second, if we're supposed to, if I'm remembering this right, if we're supposed to break the curse, of the Lord in the tower who has unimaginable power, as you say, how the hell are we supposed to do that?
I've already told you. You're just a poor listener.
Well,
Sorry, I
shit.
wasn't
Anybody
meaning to
else?
laugh at you.
No, you're good. Well, shit. Anybody else got anything?
GM,
Mm-hmm.
can you happen to copy and quote those? Because I cannot type fast enough.
Yeah, I will. Once we're done the game, instead of taking time out of it, I'll actually post what she said. Or if you guys feel like it, you can make a clip of what I just said.
I greatly appreciate that because I was trying to write it out as you were talking. It did not go well.
Yeah, so
Not,
I'll
not me.
A lot.
go through, I'll make a clip, and I'll send it to you guys.
I was excitedly taking pictures of the fact that I actually have a Taroka deck.
I'm like, pay attention to this, guys, and you're like, I have a Taroka deck.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Donjon is actually a Deck of Many Things card as well.
Yep.
That's why I was like, what? Okay.
Oh,
More questions. I can sense them. Ask me.
Um, it may just be me overthinking everything. That first card, uh, it feels strangely specific.
Sometimes the things we seek are easy to find, and sometimes they are not. You may believe you know what is meant, but until you find it, you cannot be sure. I
Well,
believe...
I
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I believe you also sought some sort of reward. She takes a moment, she leans over. You can almost hear the creaking of her bones as she picks up a large chest sets it to the side. A large, well, it's a handheld chest, still big. She opens it up, and you can see inside gold and jewels and several pouches and clanking glasses seem to kind of mix around inside of it. She takes a moment, she pulls out a small sackcloth and then closes the chest again. For now, these. She puts, with a clank, several cling coins. She puts that in front of the party. And when you return, with each of these items in tow, and you know which ally I speak of, before you're ready to face the Dread Lord and his curse, I will reward you anew.
Arabella, how many times? I think I can count on one hand actually. How many times we've actually got, payment up front, or at least a down payment.
Yeah, I mean, typically upfront payment means they think we're gonna die. So
Yeah, yeah, kind of does, doesn't it?
What is going on with the town that we walk through?
They're troubled. Like everyone in this land, they live beneath the curse of Strahd.
Roll credits.
Sorry.
Pretty funny.
I was thinking the same thing though.
With my background, can I make a history check when she mentions that name?
Absolutely. The name tickles to the back of your mind like some sort of thing you read a long time ago, but no specifics immediately pop up. Just that the name belongs to someone who is old and powerful. Definitely a vampire. But other than that, you don't get anything.
Wonderful. I'll hold on to that information until our group is alone.
Yeah. If you
Is
have...
Lilith
Oh, what?
is oh is Lilith with us right now?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Um, Lilith, do you have any questions or anything?
Um, Outside of this, I have no idea what's going on, so I was just going to stay quiet until I figured it out.
Fair enough.
The town may be our next direction.
If you are
Yeah.
headed that way, then I have a gift for you. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And she again opens up this chest and pulls out a bit of parchment on a roll. See, like the roll itself is copper or bronze. You're not quite sure. It's old and tarnished. She hands it to you. She'll hand it to Therian.
Therian will cautiously take it.
Okay.
And this is
A gift. One that came
a
into my
gift.
possession nigh on 80 years ago. That I assume you will find most intriguing.
Therian will look at it.
As you kind of unspool it, it is the deed to a house. It's
Out of character. That's me laughing. Okay.
It's listed as 202 Wisteria Lane, Barovia. It has a name there, Gustav Durst, as the primary holder. But the name's been crossed out in this odd brownish black ink, and there's a space under it for somebody else's name now.
Did you just inherit a house?
Apparently.
character. This is not the first time I've played Strahd, and this
I
is
know.
also not the first time real estate has been deeply involved.
I know exactly what this is out of character, but
I do not. So
I also do not, because like our real estate was very different in the other game.
So, you inherited a house, Theory. Congratulations.
You have all inherited this house. Together.
oh,
Oh,
It's only nice to share with your friends, isn't it?
Oh God, we're roommates.
Trust me when I say there's more than enough space for all of you.
you see, when you laugh like that, I feel like you're leaving us out of a joke.
Oh, I'm just old, dear. And some call me crazy. After all, the first half of Madam is mad.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that
have
was a
to
good
use
one.
that.
That was a good one.
Okay, guys, when I get old, you guys have to call me Madam.
No.
Okay, Zumi.
I'll think about it. Um,
That'll be another 30 or 40 years.
Also, Madam Ava, last question probably before we try to locate our apparently gifted abode. Um, how did you acquire the company of the Vistani or Vistani?
I am Vistani, the eldest living Vistani. It grants me certain authority and powers.
Oh, okay. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, if there are no further questions, I would definitely like to leave now.
You would?
Like to sleep.
Does something scare you?
Um,
Really not this kind old lady.
well, she's been kind so far, but I've read some things, and yeah, no, I would just like to leave.
Will you at least stay the night? My people grow hungry for entertainment.
Madam,
And
I think
do you realize you actually do that? Like, am I the one missing? Am I the only one not catching this? Do you realize, madam, that again, your people are very, very nice, but they just come off so unsettling sometimes, you know?
have you ever thought that other cultures beyond your own might take entertainment in discomfort? Every time I watch
Yes.
you squirm, it makes me happy.
I, I,
Well, I am always here to provide
I do have a question, actually. Is there a way to
something.
join the Vistani? Because you guys sound like my people. Just kidding. Don't. I'm not.
If you wish to join, I have a great-great-grandson who's in need of a wife. I think you'd find living with us most pleasant.
You know what? I'll get back to you after we're done doing what we're doing.
Of course. Don't worry, my dear. And she reaches out with her old wrinkled hands and grabs yours. I'm sure he'll wait for you. You're such a beauty. Yes, and she strokes your hand a little bit.
Oh, why, thank you. I do try to take care of myself, or at least put on the prettiest face.
Well, go. I need time to... I need time to rest and sleep. Yes. Much like your friend Crimson.
You know, I I would ask how you. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, guys. I guess let's try to find this house and see if it kills us.
Bella will hold
I'm
open the
gonna
tent
keep
flap for everyone
keep that thought to myself.
and stay behind for a second.
Madame Eva just looks at you.
I just kind of hold up the earring.
She grins.
What does it do?
Her smile grows ever wider.
I'm not really like a one for crypticism.
I know.
I would appreciate you letting me know what this earring does.
It does what it does. Keep it close, and one day, it may even save your life.
All right.
Plus, it complements your color oh so well.
Ah, yes. Green fits so well in with my red and black, kind of.
She just keeps grinning at you.
Have a good night.
Oh, you too. Sleep well and have pleasant dreams. As you leave the tent, you can actually hear her. That voice kind of hurts my throat a little bit.
Yeah, it's sorry to kill you.
Okay. So as you folks leave, you can see that the Vistani are still kind of roaming around their fire. They're telling stories. You can see Crimson's just like passed out underneath one of the wagons, just completely asleep.
I'm gonna go. Mario's gonna go and tug his foot. Like, hey, I got a story to tell. Wakey, wakey, Crimson.
Let him rest. He did not sleep last night.
Oh,
He like gives you a little like a twitch and jerk when you tug on him, but he's just like "Arr," and rolls over.
okay.
I see like the matronly women that were talking to me last night.
Yes, you do.
Can I just like approach the one that was trying to set me up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Oh yes, my
I'm just
dear.
gonna. Hi. I'm
Hi.
gonna just Lilith and go. I think I found a better candidate for your friend.
Oh, absolutely. We were thinking much the same. Her figure is just perfect for his taste.
Perfect.
Well, I
As
can
long as
match
it's not
anyone's taste. All you have to do when you do is describe to me what it is that what you're into.
as long as it's not me.
Well, see, he typically does prefer people with lighter hair, a little tall, maybe slightly muscular, deep, dark eyes. And he's a particularly large fan of teeth.
That was oddly specific.
You
I
know
kind of
what?
appreciate
I
the
will
last
see
one.
what I can do.
Perfect.
Also, ma'am, how do you get lighter than white?
You try very, very hard.
Lighter than white?
Yep, can't argue with that logic. Yeah, because
Wouldn't that be translucent?
right, my sister's
Um,
hair is
don't
white.
don't don't put me back into this.
No,
I
no.
don't.
Oh, oh. Okay. Is it a mango moment?
No, I just
No.
like I don't know. Blind dates are kind of weird.
Oh, he's not blind, love. In fact, you could say that
No,
he sees very much.
um, so a blind date is kind of like when you're setting two people up that don't know each other.
She smiles. You get the gist that she knew what you were saying, and she was just trying to make a joke.
Right, right. Um, well, I'm gonna let you two talk, and I'm gonna go away.
Do you need to sleep? The tents are available. The one furthest west. That's the one that we've set aside for your people for tonight. Except for Crimson, he refused it and is currently sleeping underneath one of the wagons for some reason.
Um, you know, weirdly enough, I think I can just carry him to the tent.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. And she goes and, oh, don't forget, we left a pie in there for you. Eat it quick before it grows cold. she begins wandering around and is looks like she's starting to get together some stuff to bake some more something.
Um, so, Therian, um, do you know exactly where this humble abode that awaits us is?
No, but our guide told us that the town we were walking through to get here was the one that had that letter that was sitting at the other campsite from Indirovich.
So we're probably gonna have to clear a ghost town to stay in our house. That sounds like fun. Yay.
First ghost we fought, it'll be fine.
Oh, also, how in the 9, possibly 12, hells did she know our names before we even gave it to her?
I
Mystic form divination type of magics, they exist. It's not uncommon for prophecies and scrying. Magic is magic after all.
So
I
you've dealt
didn't
with this
like
sort of thing a lot
something.
then, huh?
Well, you could say that.
I just hope we don't die tomorrow. I got something to get back from somebody.
Oh, fun.
And Mario is going to tuck it in.
Okay. As you guys get to the tent itself, there is a blueberry pie just sitting in the middle with enough food and cutlery for all of you. Um, there's also a tall jug of what looks to be some sort of cold liquid. It's metal, maybe a brass, and there's condensation on the outside, showing that it's been cooled and refreshed. There's also 6 thick slices of steak, potatoes, carrots, that kind of thing. So there's food.
Ooh, food.
I'm
Help
I'm
himself.
I'm going to kind of gently but very unceremoniously dump Crimson in like a corner somewhere.
Perfect.
So, who's Crimson?
Chief.
Me.
Okay, sorry. I'm still trying to catch up.
Oh, we're near a lake, right?
You are. You're near a river. Up a little bit, you might be able to find a lake that's called the Tsar Pool, depending on how far you want to go.
Uh, I mean, I'll travel up a little bit. Rivers can be quite dangerous. My character just wants to take a bath because, traveling makes you stinky.
Okay. And you're going by yourself to take a bath?
I mean, yeah.
Do
In
you
this
need
company?
someone to keep watch to not like peep on your naked body?
Mario, I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try food in my mouth. Do you
It's
need someone
blueberry
to
pie.
keep? Do you need someone to keep watch? Just so you know aren't totally defenseless, or any pervs out there, perverts.
I think okay. Um,
Okay,
she will kind of just like lean down and whisper it to Lilith, since Lilith is the only other she there.
Currently, she.
Yeah,
What are you whispering?
that she's going to go take a bath.
Oh, um, yeah. Lilith is gonna be like, all right, and like stands up and gonna go with her.
Okay. All right, so the
Oh,
two of you. Oh, go. Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
The two of you do go for a bit of a light swim. The Terra pool is. It's at the base of this large waterfall. Far in the distance, about 200 feet ahead, overhead, you can see there's a large stone structure up there, but you can't tell what it is. The water is cold and it moves quickly. And in the kind of grayish light of the just post evening, there's more than enough light to see that a perception check would help you.
We can do that. I can do that. That's a thing that I can do. I'm very good at them.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I'll figure this out. Perception.
You just click it.
Click. I missed the bouncy dice across my screen. I see nothing.
You can turn those on in the settings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
You can turn on 3D dice. You go to dice options, enable 3D dice.
Okay. My computer decided to shut itself off.
Ah.
2.
Lilith, it's a relatively pleasant place. You can see like a little bit of bubbles, and it's just because of the sudden drop and the stop of the water off the waterfall. It looks like it'd be a pleasant bath.
I'll come back in a second.
Okay. Therian, roll that with advantage. Therian disappears from the tent for a little while. Seems to wander off by himself. By themselves, sorry.
Would Mario notice that?
You would notice that Therian wandered off, but you are in the middle of eating.
True.
So you could follow them if you'd like to, or you could just stay where you are.
No. They seem like they can handle themselves, and food.
Okay. All right. So as the two of you are having your bath, you don't spot anybody. No one's taking a peek at you. It's relatively calm and decently enjoyable experience, albeit a bit brief and cold. But when you take a look at your equipment when you get back, it's obvious that it's been rifled through. And there's a thin sliver of leather missing from your armor or cloth from your clothing. Like someone took a knife to it and just cut a strip. But you didn't see anything.
Can I look around again?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception again, sorry.
Now I am
Me too.
uncomfortable. Oh, that's a lot better.
I still don't see nothing.
You look, and Lilith, you see nothing. But Arabella, you see a pair of eyes, crimson, reflecting the light in the distance, before they just slowly back up into a tree.
Oh, it's an in-character cough.
Say
Before,
in character?
yeah. I'm gonna move just a little bit in that direction.
Okay. You begin to see the faintest traces of someone having moved through. Barely there, though. Like they were experts, or maybe they weren't quite human. Especially not with those red eyes. You see the humanoid form leaping from tree to tree, and then you see it stand on the cliff face. It begins to climb like a spider. dashing up the side.
Uh, well, it doesn't stop to look back at all.
Nope. It's just running and then on all fours and jumping and moving, climbing the 200-foot cliff as if it's nothing.
Okay. Cool. I don't want to tempt fate by yelling at it, but I kind of want to yell at it because it fucked with my clothes.
Your
I
choice.
don't like that.
So I'm going to be
Yeah.
listening, but I'm just physically moving away from the camera for a moment.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
Yeah, she's just kind of arms crossed. She watches it climb the cliff for a second and then goes, it's kind of rude to fuck with people's clothes.
At this point, Lilith is definitely going to be looking around, but like, wait, what?
The creature, without its body moving at all, its head swivels 180 degrees, and you can almost feel the pain of like, oh my god, that would really hurt my neck. And it looks at you, and its mouth opens. You can see the long, glinting fangs and the tongue that slithers out almost down to the middle of its chest, and then it slowly licks its lips and begins dashing back up the side of the cliff.
I feel a lot of emotions over that. So I'm just going to walk back to my clothes uncomfortably and awkwardly put them on.
Okay. And with that, you guys can spend the night at the Vistani camp, at the Serapul encampment, and you each have a long rest. Just for the waking of the long rest purposes, I'm going to give an inspiration to Therian, to Crimson. Actually, I'm just going to give one to everyone. Everyone wakes up in the morning with an inspiration. That was a very good bit of role playing, and I enjoyed that a lot. So everyone has inspiration.
Cool.
Oh, and then I have to roll for this. Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh, wait, I can click here. Boop.
All of the effort was not for nothing this time.
Can I say Arabella wakes up early and is
Absolutely.
just kind of like not in the tent? She's just working out outside.
Yeah. As you get up early in the morning, there are still people who are up. Either they didn't sleep, or they're up earlier than you. And they're moving around and they're getting stuff set up, getting stones moved over these still burning fires so that they can cook. And
Nice.
a few of the people, men and women, give you appreciative looks as you begin working out.
Is it appreciative like, oh, cool, they've got a workout routine, or is it appreciative like they're hot?
A
Or
mix
is
of
it
the two.
appreciative?
Ah, okay. Arabella doesn't really pay attention to the looks. She's just working out.
Okay. And the rest of you come to, having had a decent night's sleep. But actually, something I should have done beforehand. I'll get all of you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Not good.
Oh, fuck.
Did really good.
Oh shit.
It's all right. We're together.
So, Arabella,
Yay.
Hey.
you wake up, and
Uh-huh.
the morning sun dazzles you. It's noon. You kind of step outside, and there's nobody there. It's quiet. And you look around, and you're not at the Serapul encampment. You're at home. As you turn around to look back into the doorway you stepped out of, you hear a voice. Why? Why couldn't you save me? And then you wake up as if from a nightmare. You get up and feel your heart beating quicker. Get together and go do your workout.
I'm assuming that voice is very familiar.
Very.
Yeah, she's not she's not paying attention to people looking at her at all. She is like going really hard in that workout.
Therian, you feel something in your sleep. A calling. A desire. Something pulling you. You see a castle, lightning flashing overhead, and a large caped figure standing at the very pinnacle of the tallest tower, and it beckons to you. As you draw closer and closer to the castle itself, it leaps from up on high and descends ever so gently to land in front of you. It's a man, dark-featured, but very pale, black hair and dark red eyes that are so entrancing. And as he pulls you in close, you can feel a pain in your neck. And then you wake up. Still with the company you kept last night. Mario, you have this sense, this smell of smoke and dust and fire. As you open your eyes, a bright light begins to shine. You look around and you're surrounded by books in a tower, and the flames are outside, and you can smell the smoke, the burning of the parchment, everything you've ever read going up all of a sudden, all at once, and a voice offering you a way out, and you startle awake as well. But you all come to eventually. Nightmares or not. What do you want to do with the day?
So, how did everyone sleep?
Fitfully.
You said what?
Fitfully.
Fishfully?
Good.
Good. At least one of us did. He's like fiddling, like, fidgeting with like his thumb and his like fingers and stuff like that, like picking his nails a little bit.
Hey, you okay there, Mario?
I'm fine. Just remembered something that I'm fine. I'm fine.
You look like you've seen a ghost, and trust me, I know all about that.
No, lucky enough to not have seen any ghosts. I'm fine. Thank you.
Lilith's gonna get up and go
How
find
was
something to eat.
how was the bath, by the way?
Arabella saw something, but
Speaking of which, Arabella's not in the tent. Neither is Therian.
Probably well, if she didn't tell me about it when she came back, I guess it wasn't that important. You want to go get food? Lilith?
yes.
Yeah, let's go get food.
Okay. You both wander out to Arabella doing her workout and food being made. Crimson, what are you up to?
Well, I probably slept in because exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I probably just immediately like startle, wake up,
Yep.
check if everything is there.
Everything seems to be there.
There would be no seems to be. I would do inventory of every single thing.
Everything's there.
And I will let out a breath and then get up. Probably pull up my bandana over my face. Or over my mouth and nose, and then I'm just going to walk out and see what is going on. Because this was not where I fell asleep at.
So you come out of the tent and you look around and you realize, oh, you slept underneath, or you tried to sleep underneath the wagon over there, and there are like drag marks as if someone had pulled somebody with boots along into the tent.
Do any of, well, I know my party wears boots, but do any of the other people wear boots?
Most of them seem to be wearing shoes or boots, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of them though. As you're looking around, there are probably a good 2 dozen Vistani just wandering, getting ready for food, setting up some musical instruments. They're talking and maybe trading some stuff. Some of them have set up a nearby by the fire to like heat up a bit of metal so they can repair some pots and pans and pins. But other than that,
I am going to take count of where my allies are,
okay.
and then probably just hover near one of them.
The only one you don't see is Therian. So Therian, what are you doing?
After they wake Therian wakes up in a cold sweat, having been reliving something that was very close to him. And stretches and gets armored and steps out fairly early in the morning, before everyone's awake, and goes and bathes in the river and calms down, trying to not think about what he saw the night before, and then makes his way back into the encampment, uh, right around when everybody is finally up and outside eating.
You're all fed a relatively hearty breakfast of eggs, bacon, and a stiff but tasty bread that seems to be a day or two old. You're gifted with some morning ale, which is a light mix, a bit refreshing, of water, orange juice, and ale. It sounds odd, but it's tasty. And you're left to do your own thing. Madame Ava makes no such appearance, but you do see Stanimir does bring over a plate of food for her. It looks just to be eggs and bacon cut up in very small pieces.
Mario tries to crack a joke and goes, ye old digestive tract, huh?
I don't know if my mic caught my snort, but that was in character.
Oh, fair. Do you guys want to
Who's
stay?
the
Sorry, go ahead.
who's the old bag?
Oh, you've missed a lot.
She cranes her head towards you and grins.
That's fucking unsettling.
She
Why don't
nods.
you?
You
Why
should
don't
go
you
speak
talk
with
to her?
her, actually.
Yeah, she's so lovely.
Yeah,
That's definitely a deception check right there.
Oh, I wasn't. I was just being honest. You should go speak to her.
Deception.
Arabella's like, oh, she's so lovely and kind and is not freaky at all. Whereas Therian's just like, you should probably go talk to her, yeah.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be demanding anything of you at all.
And that is where I'm gonna keep that.
Okay.
I didn't mention it. Like right after leaving that tent last night, I would have put in the earring.
It's in?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel it's unusual. For an earring, it has next to no weight. Like, you could feel it when you were lifting it up. It felt heavy, but as soon as you put it in, it feels light.
That's fine. I'll forget it's there. It's good.
Yeah, doesn't make any noise, doesn't jangle, doesn't have any weight to it once it's in your ear. And in fact, it didn't even hurt going into your ear.
Um, Arabella, can I when I get a moment of your time, I I think I need to talk to you about something. But before that, I heard you saw something when you were taking your bath. Everything all right?
Uh, yeah, so we came back from the bath and like our clothes had been kind of fucked with.
His eyes grew wide. I can assure you,
I
nobody
know it
else here
wasn't
did it.
you. I, you don't, you know, no offense, you just don't strike me as the type to rifle through my clothes.
Good, good.
Um, and then I saw these like eyes, and then they were kind of hopping in like trees, and they started like climbing the cliff, but not like a rock climber would climb a cliff, right? Like not like how I would climb a cliff. Like they were like a spider, dude. It was crazy. And then I yelled at him, and he turned his head. I thought he broke his own neck, and he had a crazy long tongue and very pointy teeth. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about any of that. I'm gonna be really honest.
And you were able to walk back here alive after that thing? He didn't try to
Yeah,
attack you at all, just wanted to fuck with your clothes?
no, he just kind of like did a weird smile and like showed me his tongue. I don't know what that meant.
It smiled at you.
Yeah,
You know, anything that smells is obviously friendly.
I sure. Mm-hmm.
Vampires smile, and they aren't the most friendly of peoples.
I thought that was like a
Also don't have
threat.
10-foot tongues either. It sounds like.
You know, what if like kind of like how like dogs bare teeth. If like a vampire smiles at you, it's like meant to be a threat because their teeth are kind of the. That's you know what? It doesn't matter. Uh, I shove toast in my mouth.
Okay, because, well, with that bit of information, yeah, I feel like we probably safe to assume not to be totally defenseless out in this part of the woods.
What she saw, but I didn't see anything, and it just seemed like a perfectly lovely evening for me.
Oh yeah, the rest of the bath was great.
Yeah, what she said.
And yes, that immediately solves the problem. Uh,
I know what you guys are going on about. So far I've not seen any issues.
To be fair, it's not like it's under chaos.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna kill us. That's what you said, right?
Arabella just nods furiously.
okay. Well, I guess on to I guess less life concerning things. Tyrion, that deed. You want to check out that town today, or our lovely abode?
Yes, that's what I was planning on asking you guys. We did see the other letter that said that the town that we came through when we came here needed assistance, and well, they had money. So,
Good. I'm all for it. I like money, and I really need to hit something after last night. So yeah, let's go at it.
Okay.
Arabella kind of does a lead the way gesture, and also snatches her bacon because she saved that for last to eat on the road.
Mario
I'm
didn't eat.
I'm gonna get Therian. I'll get you to roll a d20 for me, please. Just a flat d20. Perfect. You guys make your way through the woods relatively calmly and safely. The path, as much as you remember, just dusty. But you make your way to a small village called Barovia. second here. So Barovia itself, it has, in the daytime, it has very few people who move around. And in fact, only one person seems to be moving around freely, and she actually bumps into you on the way in. You can hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across damp cobbles, and you look back to see to trace the lonely sound, and see a hunched figure bundled in rags pushing what looks to be a rickety wooden cart through the fog. She stops by and looks at you and goes, "I don't recognize any of you. Are you new?"
You know, the creepy guy that led us through this town to begin with said we shouldn't talk to strangers. Um,
Well, of
Before he could
course
finish,
you shouldn't talk to strangers. My name's Morgantha. Now I'm not a stranger.
Well, it's nice to meet
cannot
you,
argue with that
Morgantha.
logic.
I'm Lilith, and this is everybody else.
Good, good. Hello, everybody else. Hello, Lilith. Would you like to buy a dream pastry?
What
A what?
A dream pastry.
does it make you dream, or is it just so tasty that it seems like a dream?
They're a gold.
Oh, well then. Kind of gestures at everybody else, seeing as she's not very good at keeping money.
And she just she
I'm
pulls open a bit of her cart. You can see a little bit of steam coming through as they were kept hot, and there are small what look to be like mincemeat pies. Well,
and I'm not hungry.
are you
You
sure?
know what? Why not? I will I will give her a gold.
Oh, thank you so much. And she puts the gold, stuffs it down her shirt. You can hear the clank as it hits like another pouch. She offers, she takes a bundle of what looks to be cloth and tears off a strip, puts it around the base of the pie and hands it to you, so you have something to hold on to. Careful, might be a little greasy. Get that on you, it's gonna burn a little, but it's tasty. Trust me. You should eat it when it's hot, but make sure you're sitting when you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else want a dream pastry?
As much as I would love one, I don't seem to have any coin on me. Well, I do, but not that much.
Okay. Where are you from? You're not from here. You got that shine in your eyes that tells me you got a soul. So you're not from Barovia. That much is certain.
I give her a
Mario.
very pointed look. Because Arabella's eyes do not have a shy.
Mario chuckles as well. So
Well,
Yes.
um,
y'all aren't too talkative, are you?
why are you so?
I'm
Oh, hold on, give me a second. I'm sorry.
I'm from
Lil-
Griffin's Rest.
Never heard of it.
You don't want to.
Nah? Why not?
It's a shithole.
You been around Barovia much? I'm just saying, once
You
you've
know,
been to
it
Ravenloft, everywhere else is heaven.
I don't know. So far it kind of feels like home.
Okay.
It's actually a lot less blood here.
Well,
It's
you
kind
know
of weird.
what? For being so honest, I'm gonna, and she wraps up another pastry, have another one on the house.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. I also have some wine. 2 coppers a
Give-
cup.
I give Mario a pointed look at the wine.
I actually don't. I actually don't want to drink today.
Okay.
Not now, at least.
You can find me around here most times. If you need a pastry, you know where to go. And she
Hopefully next
hobbles
time we met,
along.
I will have money.
Yeah, she hobbles along into the village, that cart creaking. Seems like she has to lean on the cart more for support than anything.
She seemed pretty nice.
Oh man, we should have asked her where our house is, where the street is.
You couldn't have gone too far. We could still stop her.
No, she's an old lady. She's traveling at 5 feet per round, so.
Madam,
Yes? My name's
Um,
Morgantha. Remember? I told you.
yes, yes, Madam, Madam Morgantha. We
Yeah.
have we have an address we're looking to see, and
Though
Mario
I
points to the
travel all
Syrian.
these parts, I probably know where it is. Where are you looking?
He points to the Syrian for the
Well, first of all, we're looking to speak with the mayor.
No. But first, let's probably
Okay.
get settled. What was it?
Well,
Wisteria Lane?
No. We need to speak with the mayor first.
202 Wisteria Lane.
well, if you're looking to speak to the mayor, I'm afraid you're out of luck.
Why?
He dead.
Cool.
Died
Uh,
a couple days ago.
okay.
You want to speak to his son, though? He's probably up with Periwimple over at the bar.
Okay.
You were talking about Wisteria Lane?
I believe that's what it's called. I don't know.
Right. Well, you're
Look over the
looking.
shoulder.
Sorry, just give me a second. That voice is killer. Well, if you're looking for his mark, you're gonna be going to either the Blood on the Vine Tavern, which is just down the middle way, or you're gonna be going to Bildred's Mercantile. Now, trust me when I tell you, that man will bilk you at all the money you got. So don't trust him. If you're looking for Wisteria Lane, you're gonna head straight through the city till you get to the last road. You're gonna take a left. You're gonna go up a bit, and it's gonna be somewhere around there, because that's Wisteria Lane. Now you said 202. I don't remember a 202, so it's probably pretty far up.
Okay. All right.
I was just trying to remember. I didn't. Like I said, I looked over the shoulder. So. Just a quick glance.
Anything else you need?
I don't think so. I think that's everything, right?
All right. Just remember, you need a pastry. You know where to go.
Yep. Thank you for
Okay. So as you guys are sitting on the outskirts of town, this old lady kind of trundles off, walking very slowly. You can tell she has trouble with her legs and hips. And as she goes from door to door. She knocks, and you can hear her saying, "Do you want a dream pastry?" Going all the way down the streets. What do you
Do
want to do?
people open the doors for her?
Some do, most don't.
Okay.
How many people are actually taking pastries from?
Out of the 10 or so that you see her interact with, only one. They give her a gold coin in exchange for one of the pastries.
Neat.
I wouldn't eat those.
I don't know. I kind of want to try it, but she told me to sit down first, so I feel like it's made with like some
Magic.
crazy stuff. Yeah.
Shrooms.
Shrooms.
But like we should probably hit that bar, right?
I mean, we do have
Yeah,
a few
the
options.
tavern seems to be a good spot to stop in at.
It feels very convenient that the mayor is now dead.
You know, it honestly, with as creepy as this place is, it honestly seems par for the course. I'm surprised anybody's alive in this damn town, to be honest with you.
I was just thinking that just seems to be a very common issue with certain types of jobs we take. Mayor's always dead before we can speak to them.
Speak for yourself.
So it's not the first time, is it?
Nope.
To the bar.
Okay.
At least we
Yeah.
can
Bar.
fucking drink about it.
To the bar. Away.
So-
Arabella will also kind of walk back towards the back of the group and like tug Mario with her.
Okay. As
Yeah.
you guys head towards the bar, you see like heading into the middle of town that there is the Blood of the Vine Tavern, but it looks like it used to be Blood on the Vine. but it's been kind of changed. And you guys kind of split off for a little second. Go ahead.
What do you want to talk about?
How far away are we from everybody?
I'd say 10 feet easy.
10 feet still within earshot?
If you whisper, maybe.
Um, I, you know what? This still isn't the time for it. We probably should be alone. Um,
I'm not alone. I'm with you.
us together alone and not within reachable earshot or a fear that I have
All right.
of
Do you wanna just come to my room when we get to like our new house?
sure, yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
And to not totally leave you in the dark, I did have a dream last night of when I was still in the tower and when it was burning. Um, but I don't think I've ever told you why I was in the tower, did I?
No.
Yeah, that's something that probably needs to be shared. I need to get it off my chest, honestly, and pretty sure you won't kill me if I tell you the reason. So,
Probably not. But like, are you okay though?
um,
Is this like a mango moment?
if earlier would have been, I'm slowly getting over it. Watching, I guess, for some reason, that lady talking about souls, kind of cheered me up a little bit. But no, it's not a mega moment. Not anymore.
Okay. Well, just stay close to me if you need to, all right?
You know, if Tatiana weren't alive again, I swear you would be just my type, my dear. And then a man comes striding out of an alleyway. He's tall, very dark-featured, very pale. He smiles with a grin that's almost entrancing. I need both of you to make charisma saves, please.
Oh,
Oh
oh
shit.
no. Um,
Give me a second. Sorry. Badoop.
Both of you fail.
Oh,
You are
yeah.
entranced by this man. He is the most beautiful creature you have ever seen, and his words ring like songs in your ears. Look at you, my new little playthings. You're adorable.
Do any of us notice this going on?
No, they waited until you guys were like at the blood of the vine, so they backed off a bit, and so did he.
um,
Tell
I
me
thought you
your
just established they were
names.
like 10 foot behind us.
They started talking when they're about 10 feet behind you guys. Like, and that was when they got pulled in the alleyway, but you guys kept going and they talked for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Darian
am.
definitely wouldn't have let that happen, but it's too late now.
I'm Mario. Core lady. And he takes his hat and like does like a bow, puts it like over his heart and something like that. Um, Good to make your acquaintance. And puts it back on.
He moves forward and just sniffs at your neck. You're untainted. You smell fantastic. And you, lady?
I'm Arabella.
Arabella. I love your name. It's beautiful. You two look positively delicious.
Oh, thank you. I try sometimes.
Does he look familiar? Like,
Not at all.
okay.
I need you both to do me a favor. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure.
Very soon, very soon, I will come visit you again. This time with a carriage. And you're going to help me move another beautiful lady into the carriage. Her name is Irina Koliana. She is my Tatiana, and if you do very well, and she comes with me, I'll reward you with whatever your... And he looks you up and down. Heart's desire. Are we understood?
Mario takes a moment, thinks about it. Yeah, no, yeah, that definitely sounds like a good bargain.
Now I want you to forget this little encounter ever happened until I have need of you once more. All right?
Sure thing. Okie dokie.
And he steps back into the shadows and seems to disappear. And you guys can thank Patron for that little scene.
I am full of
Yeah.
regret.
Not me over here like, ah!
All right, you're able to catch up with the rest of the people. They're not too far behind, honestly. They're just getting to the Blood of the Vine right now. And as you all head inside together, you see a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood of the Vine Tavern. It's about 60 feet square, and a close inspection of the sign reveals that it originally read Blood on the Vine, but the N has been scratched out. This once finely appointed tavern has grown shoddy over the years. A blazing fire in the hearth gives scant warmth to the few huddled souls within. They include a barkeep, who's short, stout, and grimy looking. 3 Vistani, you believe, sitting together and muttering low in a language that you've heard once before. And a smiling young man who grins and says, "Ah, travelers, welcome to that was my words. Yep, that was good. Yep. Welcome to Barovia. Come, let me buy you a drink."
What do you have that's really strong?
ah, ah. Do you have a preference for flavor? Are you looking for beer or rum, another spirit, maybe wine?
I don't really have a preference for flavor because it's all going to the same place.
Arik. How many of this? 5 of you? 6 wine, please. Thick stuff, not thin. And as Arik gets set up, you can see that this person is wearing, looks to be very silvery chainmail underneath his bright white clothing. Like he's prepared for battle, but still wants to look fashionable and good. At his side is a thin rapier, but leaning against the back wall behind him, you see now, is a longsword and his shield.
You're pretty armed to the teeth there. You know, this is
Ismark.
just
My name is Ismark.
Ismark. Nice to
Yes.
meet your acquaintance. My name is Mario.
Nice to meet you.
You seem pretty well, armed to the teeth actually. Is anything going on? Anything you can tell us?
Well, we're in Barovia, my friend. In the land of Ravenloft, of course things go poorly all the time. It's best to keep your weapons close and your friends closer. Speaking of which, do you want to be friends?
I want to be friends.
Perfect.
Can,
Yes?
can I be checking out his sword? Is it a good quality sword?
Go ahead and roll, I would say, a raw intelligence check or a raw wisdom check. Your choice.
I'll do wisdom because I'm good at wisdom. I got that one.
Oh,
The sword?
mind.
I wanted,
You have an inspiration if you want it.
That's right.
and I wanted to check out his rapier as well, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Do I get to roll again for inspiration, or I
Yep.
add a D?
Just roll again.
Okay. Cool. Still bad.
Yeah,
but it's
the weapon has a few nicks and scrapes on it, but it looks to be polished and shine. It doesn't look like it's great quality, it's just kind of okay.
I got the 18 for the rapier.
Mario, the rapier is kept in pristine condition despite the small scrapes and nicks it has. It's been well polished, the leather's been replaced recently, and the way that he sits makes it feel like the rapier's a part of him. Like he's very comfortable using it.
Something, something he would be also, what's the word I'm looking for? Something he would feel not necessarily kinship on, but like something he would understand with
Yeah.
the way his weapon works as well. Okay.
Yeah, you
Huh.
feel a sort of similarity to this person, that whoever they are, they're a fierce competitor and a great duelist.
Oh.
Therian will speak up at this point. We got a letter from a Indorovich.
Indirovich,
And yes.
Kolyan. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see this letter, please?
Therian will pull it out and hand it to them.
This is a fake. This isn't my father's writing.
Your father?
My father is Kolyan Indirovich, Burgermeister of Barovia. And he is not in love with my sister.
Well,
Irina
I feel like-
Kolyana is my little sister, my adopted little sister. Somebody wrote this to you in bad faith. This isn't from my father. Did you come because of this letter?
I mean, kind of.
did we?
Yes and no. We were asked. We were asked by a group to come and break a curse, and then we found this letter as well.
Well, I can... What I can say is that this didn't come from my father. But if you're looking to help the Burgermeister, and the price is the same, you would wish for his wealth, I have another job for you, perhaps?
Okay, what's that job then?
My sister, Irina, she's been troubled as of late by him. And he looks out the window towards the castle you can still see in the distance.
Wait, would I know who him is? I mean, I know it's Strahd, but does Lilith know who him is?
It's never
What's her
mentioned.
name did say it out loud.
Yeah, she did say it's
The
the
witch
curse of
did say
Strahd.
the name.
Yeah.
The witch?
Yeah.
You can, okay, Strahd. Okay.
Yeah, but she looks over at the thing. Or he looks over at the castle. Unholy abominations have paid visit to our mansion at night, and though they cannot break in,
Do
They
not
try.
say his name out loud, Lilith.
Oh, Strahd's?
no, please refrain from doing that.
Yes.
He has very good ears.
Sorry.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
Does he also have like a really long tongue?
Pardon?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
No.
You see, when you said it the first time, it was like, oh, okay, that's really weird. But now that you say it again, yeah, I don't think I was a vampire, sis.
Listen, I don't know what it was, man. It was down to like its chest. It was weird.
As she's describing this, can I make a check to see if I know what she's describing?
You can make a religion check, yes. Because of who you are, I'll give you advantage on that. So you recognize roughly the description of a vampiric spawn, not a full vampire, but spawn instead. Someone, a human or otherwise, who is bathed in a pool of vampiric blood to be turned into a thrall.
That creature you met was vampire adjacent. Not quite a vampire, not quite a human any longer.
That's uncomfortable, considering they stole some of my clothes.
Cough was in. It was in character. from Lilith.
Um,
Therian will give Lilith the stink eye.
uh,
Um,
what did they steal, by the way? You never mentioned that.
And they just like they like took off a little piece, and she kind of like pulls the side of like her chest plate, where it's like it's not plate, but it's like scale mail, where you can see like a strip is missing. It's small. It's not a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
like a,
hey, that
like a
matches
sliver.
mine. And,
Yeah.
and Lilith like shows hers too. I mean, I noticed it this morning, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, shit.
well,
It
either
seems you've been
way,
marked, friends.
What does that mean?
Fine, we have Therian with us.
What?
Therian, you were saying?
anyways, Arena she's afflicted with something, or is she just being annoyed?
Well, annoyed is a loose term for it, but she's also been. And he leans forward and very carefully and very quietly says, "She's been bitten, at least once. And while she hasn't changed,
Well,
I'm afraid for her.
once is not enough.
I want to take her to Vallaki. Vallaki actually has a town wall. They have vampire hunters. They have people who can help. Here, there's no wall. There's no preventing him from striding wherever he pleases.
Yeah.
Will you help us? I promise you, the wealth of the entire mansion will be yours. All of it. I just want to see my sister safe. Please.
I'm assuming we can assist, can we not?
I
I don't
don't.
see any reason why not.
Yeah.
What?
You all think we
What's
can
your
take on
sister's
this
name
vampire?
again?
My sister's name is Irina Kolyana.
Out of sorry, just to the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still have that letter?
Yep. Yeah, he said it was a fake and gave it back.
Alright, so I'm gonna open up the letter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the name. And I'm just gonna like look at the letter and look at him and just be like, I'm very confused. Is this not? I'm gonna poke Theory and be like, is this not the person from the letter?
It is, yes, but the letters are fake. It's not real. Someone wrote it to get people to come here.
I promise you, my father had no romantic inclinations towards my sister.
That it doesn't get any better the more you say it.
I
I
am
think it
sorry,
gets
but
worse.
I do find it a little amusing.
That someone used my father's name to lure people here? Seems like he walked into a trap.
That
Fair point, but also nobility in the past is very well known for
I assure you,
intermarriage.
Say it.
we're not. My family's not incestuous, I promise you.
Okay. But
You did say that she was adopted, though, didn't you?
fair point.
That does not make it any better.
It doesn't. But
So the letters are fake. Your father
Yes.
does not want to marry your sister. So who do you think wrote this letter?
oh, there's already one person I can think of, but
He looks towards the castle.
yeah, it's
I do have a question for you. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names.
Ismark.
Friend. Okay. Yes. Why would you say, and she air quotes, his name?
I won't say his name because, like I said, he has very good ears and very good spies. He looks
So he would know
over.
that you were talking about him even without saying his name.
Well, no, I could be talking about any him or he or his.
Except for you keep going looking over at the castle.
Well, yes, he has good ears. That doesn't. You're very bad at euphemisms, aren't you?
Lilith,
Yes.
names have power.
Well, obviously, yeah.
You should know this better than anyone here.
He also makes a pointed, he makes a very pointed look towards the three people when he said he also has spies.
I have an unrelated question.
Yes.
Can I see your sword for like a couple seconds? I will trade you my warhammer for those like
Oh, don't worry
minute or
about it.
so.
And he picks up the longsword and hands it to you.
Oh, awesome. Is there like a quiet, not crowded corner of the bar where I can just kind of swing it a little bit,
Yeah.
test it out?
Mm-hmm. The sword itself is perfectly balanced, and cutting through the air is even more effortless than it should be. You've rarely held a better sword.
Well, what of this? And Therian will pull out the deed to the Wisteria house.
Takes a look at it. Where'd you get this?
I was given it.
Right, and he kind of pushes it back towards you. That used to belong to a very rich and well-off family here. Turned out that they were, we'll say, Strahd sympathizers. And he says that very, very loudly, as if he's daring someone to look at him the wrong way. And they were executed for their heresy.
Well, it doesn't belong to them anymore now, does it? It belongs to, well, obviously us. It's in our possession.
It's haunted.
That's not surprising.
You know, I would be more
Suppose there's
surprised.
rooms here. I don't want to deal with any more ghosts, if that's okay with everyone.
Not, well, it's about a day's travel, right? Pretty close to a day's travel to get from the camp to here.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's evening.
It is getting late, yeah. We can look at it tomorrow, Lilith.
Well, here's the thing as well. Yes, it's haunted.
Yes.
And yes, they may have been he who shall not be named sympathizers.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that
I was
house,
waiting for that.
especially if they've been executed for the crimes? Did anyone go through and search the house? I
I'm
expect
assuming
not,
anyone
since
who
everybody
went in
knows it's
didn't come
haunted.
back out.
Right.
It's less that than no one could get in. They were caught outside, and
This their copper, brass, bronze thing that this deed was wrapped in. Can Therian play with it? See if there's any openings, anything that if it opens at all, or if it.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. But as I was saying, no one could really get in. The house itself seemed to be against them. The first floor could be seen into, but after that, nothing. And as you're jiggling it around, Therian, you feel something come loose, like a small button or something, and then the copper tube, it opens up, and out drops a thick, old-fashioned key.
There's your problem on why you couldn't get in. And Therian will pick up the key.
Lilith's gonna snatch it from Therian and look at it. It's like,
I'll get both of you
this
to
is
roll
fancy.
acrobatics checks.
Boop.
You gotta snatch it, and as you pick it up, he just pulls it out of your hand as you're pulling it back and goes, "Yeah, it is fancy." So Therian, you have the key.
Now that I've discovered the jiggly button area, can I put it back on with no issue? Like I know what to push now to open it back up?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'll put the key back in the tube and close it.
At this point, the kind of pudgy, stout innkeeper kind of trundles over. You can see he has a bit of a limp from his left leg. His knee doesn't seem to bend very well. And he goes, "Well, you're staying the night?"
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I would like to also visit Irina if possible.
Ask Ismark. He's right there, right?
No, I was looking at Ismark. Not
Okay, yeah. Ismark nods. Well, it's 2 copper a room, 2 copper a meal. You do got money, right?
I'll hand him a
Well,
gold piece.
Okay.
That
Takes
should
it.
cover us for as long as we're here.
He kind of bites it and... Where's this from? Looks weird. Ah, it's
I'll hand
gold.
him the raven gold piece. That
Oh, better. And he hands you gears back and puts that in the pouch. He's like, oh, there's 5 of you. Right. 5 nights. You're good.
5 nights. Yes, it should be enough. 5. Yeah.
5
That's
nights, 5 meals.
that's 100 copper. Should cover for a while.
All right. You hungry now or you hungry later?
Mario goes
Revisiting.
later.
All right. I'll get some mutton stew going for you. He goes back and he starts... You can smell him making something.
Therian will ask to be taken to Irina.
So Ismark will stand up and kind of put his chair back in. He'll wander over to Arabelle and go, "Can I have my sword back, please?"
I kind of like, you know that thing where people are really practiced with their sword,
Yeah.
Sure.
where they can kind of like flip it to hand it back.
Mm-hmm.
I do that.
Okay. So he takes
No,
it from
that is-
you. Oh, go ahead.
She just complimented. She said that was beautiful.
It was my father's. And he kind of puts it away. And should you help me, it'll be yours too. He puts the shield on his back, the rapier on his right side, the longsword on his left. And you can see that there's a brace of daggers that he lifts from his waist over his arm so that it slings down. There's 10 of them on there. Less daggers, more throwing knives. And you can
Alright.
see, like, now that he stood up, at the small of his back are 2 spikes that look to be made of wood, and a pouch of water that's capped and has the symbol of a rising sun on it. He looks
Well-
geared for war.
Out of character, is Ismark attractive?
Is Ismark attractive? That's a good question.
He has... You could call him almost attractive. Like, he's almost and just quite. You know, he's not... His nose is a little bit too big. His eyes are very, very, like, electric blue. His eyebrows are maybe a little too thick. Like, he's just a little bit off. So he's handsome. But he's not over the moon attractive like the gentleman you saw before was.
I don't remember meeting the gentleman before.
That's
That's
fair.
enough for me. He's armed to the teeth. Arabella finds that really hot.
Fair enough.
She makes no comment on it, but it's
Does she have that look in
there's
her eye?
admiration in her eyes.
Oh God.
So as you all head
Mario
out,
just lets out a sigh.
as you all head out behind Ismark, he looks around very quickly, and you can see his eyes flick just to notice every moving shadow. And he nods to himself, puts his hand on his blades, and begins walking. He walks far to the south. You pass by a general store and the house of a wailing woman, which he looks at a little regretfully, and then continues on. At the end of the road, a weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily and shudderingly in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all around the domain. Heavy claw marks have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a single shard of glass stands in any window. They are instead barred with planks, and each one marked with stains of evil omens.
This is
Lovely
your
home.
house?
Yes, my house. Unfortunately, we've been
I
pestered as of
love what
late.
you've done. I love what you've done with the place.
You know, it's not exactly my choice in design, but it seems like I don't have a choice. So he opens
You
the
know,
door.
It's a bit drafty in here, I'm sure.
He opens the door and says something in a language that none of you comprehend quickly. But the interior of the mansion is well furnished, and the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room, drawn on every surface. As he heads inside, he goes, "Sister, are you here?" You hear a voice, "I'm up, I'm just getting dressed. I'll be right down. Just changing, sorry." Coming from the distance. And he ushers you inside. If you need any further proof the letter was fake, well, follow me. She leads you to a side room, a drawing room, and lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and the faint odor of decay is a body. And the body is clutching a ring that has the same sort of symbol that was signed onto the letter you hold.
Burger miser.
It's,
Crimson actually does that in game.
Burger miser.
So,
is the so wait, is the body we're looking at holding the ring?
yep.
And the letter, is that the one that's also his sister?
So
This is their father.
the body is the father.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah, it's
gotcha,
Kolyan
okay.
and Dirovich. And you heard Irina's voice coming from upstairs.
Got you. Okay, okay.
Can I lean towards Crimson and whisper, I don't think he can make us those burgers now.
He's just gonna like just behind the bandana, he just covers his eyes and he turns to the side so you just hear like slight chuckling.
Mario turns around, he's like, guys, come on. It's a dead body here.
It is a dead
No,
body, you're
respect for
right.
the dead. Respect for the
We-
dead.
As you sit there and wait, there's just a few moments of Ismark kind of offering a prayer at his father's side, and there's the creaking of stairs from up above. And you see a young woman, no more than 16 or 17, with very, very dark skin. You'd say she would look rather beautiful. She has kind of amber eyes and reddish brown hair. And you can see on the side of her neck a bite mark. 2 fangs piercing the side of her neck and just leaving these thin little holes. As she heads down, you notice the rest of her. She's clad not in a dress or in anything like that, but rather in leathers. There's a book strapped to her side, and when she sees strangers, her hand raises up immediately and catches flame. When she sees Ismark there, it slowly goes out. "You didn't warn me we had company, brother." Ismark nods.
Well, hello. That was an interesting that's an interesting introduction. Your hands always do that when you meet new people.
She grins. "Only when I meet undesirables, and since you aren't undesirable, the hands stopped glowing. Simple as that."
Well,
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, guys, I got nothing. You kind of caught me off guard on that one. Was not prepared for that.
I mean,
Everybody else.
Arabella's eyes are kind of flicking to between Ismark and Irina in like very deadly silent by panic.
Lilith is gonna go up Arabella and kind of like loop her arm in hers and be like, "There's two of them and there's two of us."
So,
Darian chuckles a little bit.
are you here for dinner? Are you here for something else? Come, we don't have to stay here. She kind of goes behind you and makes sure the door is locked. And you can see, like, her eyes glow a little as she traces the symbol of what looks to be a rising sun on the door.
Where the body is, or
Or where the outside world is, essentially. She locks the outside door.
Okay.
Come, we have a living room. We can sit and talk there. Do any of you drink coffee?
Mm,
I'll drink some.
Perfect.
With
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No. Okay. If they're all gonna go that way, I'd like to stay back just enough until they all kind of disappear around the corner. And can I take the ring?
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check.
Uh,
I like these dice.
Neither of the siblings notice, but several of your party members who have passive perceptions above that do notice.
so, I would have definitely noticed that, but not for the reasons of my passive perception. Probably because I also hung back and I was gonna do the same thing.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna smile at Crimson and just like slip the ring into my pocket.
I'm not gonna lie. I switched to my phone, so I don't know what you rolled because I wanted to go take medicine so I could stop coughing.
11.
I rolled a sleight of hand after everyone left to see if I could take the ring, and Crimson stayed behind because he was gonna do the same thing.
Oh yeah, I meant I don't know what number you rolled.
Rolled an
I rolled
11, so
11.
you saw it.
Oh.
Out of the corner of your eye, you're like, ugh.
Is there anyone who didn't see it?
The siblings.
Yeah, the siblings.
Oh
That's it.
God! But everybody else is like,
Yep.
But-
I give her like a wink and like a nice, and then I go back to the group.
hold on. Mario sees this and he does the. I'm gonna put it in general chat. The. Hold on. Where's it at? My favorite gift. There we go.
Yes. Um. As we're walking, Therian speaks up. Your brother. Your brother was saying that you have been bitten,
Yes.
and as someone who deals with the divine, I would like to take a look at it if you don't mind.
Perhaps after coffee.
Okay.
She begins, like, she goes into the kitchen for a moment. There's a bit of clanking. She comes out balancing a tray of cups. All of it seems to be relatively fine china that she sets around the table. And she sets these, like, sets down a bunch of spoons. There's sugar. She brings out a pitcher of milk. And then brings out a large pitcher of coffee that has a press on top. And she begins pouring coffee for everyone, regardless of whether you said yes or no. So,
I don't know the guy's name, just so you know, for the ring, so I'm just gonna put Burgermeister ring.
Kolyan. Kolyan.
Like Burgermeister for.
So, and she sits down. You've heard true. I have been bitten, and she pulls back her hair so you can see the bite marks a little more clearly. And it's been happening over the past 2 months or so that he's come and visited. Almost every night he sent his people, his wolves and ghouls, to terrorize us. My father's heart couldn't take it, and he passed 3 days ago.
Well, that explains why your brother and you are armed to the teeth.
Yes.
But how many times has he bitten you?
Once. Just the once. I don't really remember it, just his eyes, and
fucking believe her. No, I'm re-rolling that. Fuck that. Better.
She's looking you directly in the eyes, and you can tell she's trying to be honest as best she can. So to you, she seems
Yes,
to be telling the truth.
yes, and I know that vampires are good with charming.
I The greatest thing for me was remembering his eyes. And even though they make me shudder now, at the time, they filled me with love. I hate it.
Oh, yes, their kind is very good at that. Um, Also, this is kind of important at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an urge. Okay. Um, well, uh, Therian will like to make a medicine check to see uh, if they can sense that if the vampirism has begun spreading.
Go ahead.
Oh, I actually rolled the wrong thing for that first check. Ah, fuck. It was an 18 plus my medicine's the same, so it's
20.
W20.
You can tell that while she is pale, or paler than she should be, and her skin is a little, you would almost say sweaty. She's not in the throes of a vampiric transformation. No. It hasn't taken root yet.
Then with just to verify, um, what are the colors of the matron?
The matron is gray, blue, black.
Okay.
But she has the coffee set in front of all of you. She
Yes.
picks up
Uh,
a... Go ahead, sorry.
Therian is going to just reach out and touch her hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to pump my 5 points of lay on hands into curing any poisons or diseases that
Okay. You can see a
Irina has.
faint, warm light wash over her, and it quickly turns to a sickly green-gray as it reaches her head and then dissipates. And she looks at you, looks confused, and shakes her head. What was that?
That was me ridding your body of any poisons or diseases.
I say I do feel a little better. But still, drink up. We can talk
Um,
about business later. And
I
that's...
don't suppose you have creamer and sugar.
Yeah, it's all on the table. But that's where we'll end it for tonight because it is 9 o'clock.
It is.
It is. It doesn't feel like it should be that long, but whatever.
So thank you to everyone who watched. I hope you had a fantastic evening. And I will see the stream next week when we start off at 5-ish again and go until 9-ish again. And we can have some fun talking with the Kolyanovich and Kolyana siblings. All right. Bye.